All right, all right, all right. It is time to what? To talk. It is time to talk. All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah. Prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me, coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahaya has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will. I shall and I will. I shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something, something. I'm not going to be with you long here. And I feel that it's time to talk. So much been upon me, and I have held it in the midst of thanking the Most High for it. Because if he, one thing I know he know, if nobody apply it, Sister Deborah will. Even if one apply it, Sister Deborah still gonna always apply what he gives me to my spirit, my heart, and my mind. So therefore, it never comes back to him void. Because I always take heed to what he said, and I think that's a beautiful thing to be in him and to be able to hear him and take and embrace. That's why what he is saying. That's why I said, I shall rest therein. I'm going to rest in what he has said to me. Even though others might not get it, and you might have some that will, but I'm going to rest. That means I'm going to trust in whatever he gives me, and I'm going to see it through because I believe he's the beginning and the end and everything in between. And I'm on his side. I'm ready to fully announce I'm on a higher side. I'm not on Satan's side and the world side and all these different people on these different platforms side. I'm on a higher side. I live and I shall die on a higher side. I want to get that straight within myself. So I, Sister Deborah, again say, I'm coming to you, and it's going to be time, just time to talk. I got a lot to talk about, but I'm not going to cover a whole bunch of things. But I'm going to just say a little something, something. I will say that it's not getting better; it's getting worse, and it won't be getting worse for anyone if they're not in the right place with a higher. Those that knows and behold and can feel this thing while they running this race, those are the elects. Those are the ones that's in Revelation. In Revelation chapter 9. And he's telling his people, he's telling them he's telling his angels, make sure y'all seal mines in the forehead. I like that. He called them my servants in the forehead. I love that because as you read throughout the biblical, you hear him call his prophets his servants or his elects his servants. So I just thank the Most High for including me, even if nobody else include me. I include myself, and I know that he has included me. And I thank him for what he has done and how he has done things, because he keep me understanding really honestly every day. I learn something every day, and I ain't talking about one or two things. I learn something every day, and I thank him for allowing me to live just so I can, while I'm living, so I can be in spirit and truth. I can walk in the truth of the light of things and not be walking in darkness. And I think that's a blessing. If I'm going to run this race in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I'm going to run it with light. and not with darkness. And I'm not going to let darkness lead me and guide me. I'm not going to look on the side and in the back of me. I'm just going to keep focused on a higher that's who leads me and guides me through his Ruach HaKodesh. So I thank him for just being who he is all by himself. And that's all that's important to me, is to know him for myself. And I thank him for not allowing me to fall in the holes of many. And I want to say that to say that I give all that glory and that praise and that honor to him, not suffering me to fall in the holes in which I behold today 99.9. They falling into these dark holes and not even understanding these holes. You're going down. You're not coming up. You're not moving further. You can't run if you get caught in these different black holes that you keep running, thinking you reaching a destiny or location that spiritually knitted for you. No, you're just falling in the holes as you run. You're just falling because you're thinking those holes represent a higher, and they don't. But they good for your flesh, though. They're real good for your flesh. They're doing a lot of work for you in the flesh, and that's about it. That's about all it's going to do, is what it can do for you in the flesh. So Sister Deborah is going to just come, and it's just time to talk, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And there's many things I would like to cover, and I would say to you that I have also been doing a little bit, not very much, of listening to others. And in that process, I see them going even further and further backwards. It's just something about individuals who've been on these platforms and been in the eyes of many and in the praise of many. They all seem to be going backwards, and that's about right according to the prophecies, and according to the Most Higher. They are going backwards. They're not going forward. And in the process of going backwards, they're loving the darkness of yesterday and trying to bring it forth today so that they can deceive many in the midst of the midnight hour in which we are in. And they're doing an excellent job. I'm going to give them that credit. They're doing it. I mean, they're doing it up. And you see the Maureen's, they didn't fail by the wayside. They don't want to teach, they don't want to preach, but then they want to lead people. They want to be over congregation. They want to rule people's lives. They want tithes and offering. They want people to support them in buildings and just do all kind of supporting them, but they're not giving people no food for their spirit. And I think that's sad. But it's sad, but it's okay, because this is what the people are desiring. They're desiring food out of the mouth of these seers and these watchmen and these Maureen and these pastors and these teachers. They're desiring food from their plate, and they're getting it. Half of them ain't getting a full plate of food. They just getting not even 1/3. Wait a minute, not even 1/3. I say 1/4. I put it like that, 1/4. They're just getting 1/4. Okay, so they're not even getting really anything that has to do with their spirit. That means you have to get it. First of all, if you hear it, that's the seed that's been planted in your natural. And when it's planted in your natural, your spirit desires to know more, and it thirsts. Ahaya is the increaser and the waterer. He waters that which is in you. You see, that seed. And what is going on is people are content with just having the seed, and there's no growth. And that's, it's sad, but that's what's going on. And it's not getting better, you guys. It's going backwards. And that's another scary thing about the whole thing, is to know that a lot of things are going backwards when it should be going forward. And when I say forward toward the light, forward toward the end. Okay. But things seems to be, even though we're going forward toward the end for us, the hour that we're in, but yet the ways that was backwards is what people are more so picking up and running, or not running, but walking forward with all that trash in the back of them. I had a situation where my youngest sister and my mom came back, and I mean, whoo boy, I learned something that day. And that was like 3 days ago. I learned that no matter what, you can't bring what a higher has taught you to the forefront and thinking, people go, "Ooh, yes, that makes sense. Oh, that feel good. Oh, I understand." Oh, no, 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 no. When he said he was finished, only one gonna understand that are the servants of the Most High or higher. When he said it is finished, Deborah, that ain't for everybody to understand. Those are for the servants of the Most High or higher. And I'm going to tell you all, in the last week, I'm starting to see when he said it is finished, I mean it in the fullness. It is finished. I said, you for real, you ain't coming to correct nothing. No, he's not. And this is why you see everything going K-wild, because Satan knows. Evil and wicked knows this is their hour they're in. They know it's their time. You know what I'm saying? And they plan it and doing it all up. And I mean, you might can't see it, but I can see where the hands of Yah is off. I'm like, you for real, ain't you? You for real about this thing. Because as my mother and my sister was here, somewhere along the line, there was some difference between the two older sister and the youngest sister. Okay. And they decided to have Christmas separate when they normally have their Christmas together. When they don't encounter, they know I don't go there. They know I don't. And like my baby sister asked me, because she did it something different. And she ended up getting some space in the hotel, and everybody got rooms, and the big room, they gonna all share family. They gonna be there for like 3 days. And she said, I wish you would come. I would really enjoy. I would really like you to come. I said, Doris, and I just thank the Most High for me just having his strength in me to say, no, thank you. Homegirl, don't go to that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I didn't, not saying like, I didn't say it to her like that. I told her, no, I'm gonna have to pass this up. Because you know me, I don't celebrate Christmas. And that was good. That was good enough too. But when they came over to my house, my mother and my sister, she tries to get me involved in certain things that surrounds what you call the celebration of Christmas. So happens she asked me to help her to feed the homeless on the 15th. Now, me and that, I don't have no problem with that. But I know what it's all about. I know what it's all about. Power and control. That's one thing Sister Deborah couldn't stand. Don't get me in no corner. Don't go try to control me. Don't have your power to try to reign on me. So when she brought the green beans over, I said, okay, I'm gonna go in and participate in her and this other lady. They're planning on feeding the homeless on the 16th. So I said, I can help in that. But when they got over here, Mom was here and my sister was here, and oh boy, a lot of things came out, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Sister Deborah is truly blessed. And I sat back and I thought about it, and that's what the Father been dealing with me, is that you are separate. You are of me. You don't have to put yourself in the midst of nobody. You know, I told you it's finished. So you're going to see things for what it really is. So when you run around here thinking I'm in the midst of something, don't get it messed up. Don't you be bent. Don't you be bent all up. I didn't explain to you. I'm not coming to deliver nobody. I'm not coming to save nobody. I'm not coming to do any of that. I told you it's finished. So as my sister and mother was over here 2 days ago, a lot of chaos kicked up. A whole bunch of chaos. And see, me not knowing it, what you know, and then you come in and try to mend it, and you realize, yeah, they listening to you, but they so far from what is righteous They can't hear you. I'm like, you know, it was just things that mom had said and things she said that mom had said, mama said things that she said, and it was just, but when we left, I did tell them, you know, we got to end this thing right here. We're going in a new year. Let's forgive and just forget, you know, and just let it go. Yes, we all say things we shouldn't say, even me. But I'm telling them, just let I included myself in it. That's how you have to do when you trying to bring things to a level of righteous. So I'm sitting here telling them, and when they left out, I said to myself, and we came out on peace on that end. As far as all three of us, we came out with peace. The tears and the hugging and forgive me and all of that was good. But the thing I realized was the Father said to me then, don't think I'm coming to straighten it up. You see the mess? That's why you ain't been in it. I'm like, wow. You see, the more I'm away from it, I don't know the chaos that's going on because I'm not in it. And I give a higher, all praise and glory and honor, because it happens all the time. When I don't be in it, years and years and years, I'm always hearing all this stuff. When they get around to where they dealing with me, I'm hearing all the chaos. I'm like, when did that happen? Who said that? Who did that? So I looked at the whole situation and I just thanked the Father. I did. When they left, I thanked the Father. I said, Father, I'm so glad that you have always kept me from all that chaos. Yeah, everybody, they can put me in any black box they want. I remain in the black box, Father, long as I know you in there with me. Because I'm telling you, this all this chaos in families and all this mess, y'all can keep it. That's why I stay by myself. Don't bother nobody. Let them do what they got to do in the way they got to do it. Because outside of that, they know that I care for them and that I would do anything. If they say this, I need, you know, this, or can you help me here? Yes. But they know I'm the sister that would look them dead in their eyes and tell them, no, you know, I ain't a part of that. So I like that. I really like that, because that leads me to another the fullness of understanding that I was set aside. I was separate. I did have a hedge around me all these years. I mean, that thing, oh boy, it made me look all the way back and think about all this time. See, these are the ones that my mom always put up on a pedestal. You know, I couldn't care less if I was on a pedestal or not. I had all the talent. I had all the gifts. I had it all, y'all. Y'all could have it. You know, all my other 6 siblings, you can have it. I had all the real proof behind the power. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can have all this fake. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. You all can have all that and this. You can do what you want with it, you know. But look, keep it over there. Keep it over there. You know, and the youngest sister not talking to the other 2 oldest sister, and I told her when she was standing with Mama, and Mama was telling, that's the scriptures. That's right, booby. That's the scriptures. I said, Doris, one thing. Let me explain something to y'all that y'all don't know about. But see, y'all don't read that word, and that word tells you that a highest mystery is given unto his prophets and his servants. And he ain't talking about fake servants. He talking about the real ones, the one that really gonna tell the spirit and truth of the whole matter. And I don't care who's listening and who's not. So what I did is, as they were talking, I said, see, Dora, she said, but booby, I'm the youngest, and they still think they can treat me. They still think they can treat me like that little girl. I said, I'm gonna tell you. I said, hold up. I don't know where you getting that mess from. I sure did. I said, I don't know who you getting. Mama looked at me and said, I don't know where she getting that from either, booby. I don't know what she talking about. I don't know why she said it. I said, Doris, I think you got that bent. You got that all the way bent. And I'm gonna tell you why I told her that. I said, you got that all the way bent. That's not true. I don't think they look at it like that. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. They aren't looking at you like you are the youngest. But it ain't that they look at you because you're thinking you 8 years old, and they still treating you like you the little girl. I wouldn't even use that. That's a scapegoat. That is a wicked, like the sorcery and witchcraft. That's that wicked ways that one uses to justify and clarify the reason why things are the way that it is. Now listen to this. So as I was, let me cut this here phone off. As I was talking and she was crying and she went to tell her mama some things she said to her 3 days ago. And I said to myself, I heard my little sister tell my mother, she said, and you said so-and-so to me 3 days ago. You looked me in my eyes. You know what I said? I said, my mama is 87 years old, and I don't understand why she waited this long to tell her that. I always said that. I looked over there and I said, she don't even, my little sister don't even understand. Mama was right on it. Mama was nailing it. She just waited till she was 87. But when she said it bold as bold can be, because she just like I am, speak. And she said it to her 3 days ago, because there's chaos between the young one and the other two, the two older ones, you see? So I'm one of the young ones. My little sister's the young one, and then I have a little brother. The other four are older than we are. Now, this is what happened. Let me take this off. So what happened was it hurt my little sister's feeling that my mother said something like that to her. But I'm on one accord with that. I'm in 100 agreement that my mother spoke truth when she spoke that, because that's how I have always felt for probably 50-something years. I always saw it, y'all. I always saw it. What my mother said to him. I ain't gonna tell her what she said, but but what I said to my sister was this: I want you to understand something you might not know. I said, your husband is called, consider himself a pastor. He ain't taught you nothing. I just told her. Because if he would have taught you, he would have taught you spirit and truth of the whole matter. That's her husband she's been married to for about 30 something years. I said, first of all, he should have taught you what's the difference from young and the old. You see, a lot of you all out there don't know a rat's behind about what is the difference in the eyes of Ahiah from the young and old. It's a big difference. It started with Cain and Abel. A lot of people don't know Cain came out of the bloodline of Adam and Eve. Huh. But when she had Abel, that wasn't the bloodline of Adam and Eve. That's why it never said it was like it said it was with Cain. A lot of people don't know nothing about that because they lock Ahiah up in a little cage and think he's supposed to do it the way they said, or else it cannot be done. But see, the one I serve teaches spirit and truth. And when he's teaching spirit and truth, he give you the truth of the whole matter. He don't give you in parts. He give you the whole overall. And for what I understood, that's why Abel was different from Adam. A lot of people say, well, how did Abel know how to pay tithes and offering? Because he wasn't the bloodline of Satan. He was the bloodline of the Father. And I'm not talking about spiritual line. I'm talking about spiritual bloodline of Ahiah. Cain was fleshly bloodline of Abraham and Eve. I mean, Adam and Eve. So there's a two difference, and that's what the problem is even today. Nobody don't want to see the power of who Ahiah is, and he do what he want and how he want and the way he want. And now he don't answer to you, and he don't answer to me. He rumbles his way and not our way. So when Abel, let's go there. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let me kind of show you what I mean. In Genesis chapter, let's get to that chapter. Let me get to it. My book is. Let's get there. Oh, where am I? Oh, no. Hold up. I know that page ain't out of here. No, here it is. Here it is. It's Genesis chapter 4. Listen to this. In Genesis chapter 4, Adam knew Eve, his wife. Adam knew Eve, his wife. The word knew is a word that says they had, in a sense, sex, and he knew Eve, okay? They had sex, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, now this is what she said after she conceived, I have gotten a man from Ahiah, because that was for Adam and Eve. She has gotten a man from Ahiah. Now go to verse 2. And she again bared a brother, his brother. See, she just bared. What happened to her? No, her and Adam. No one. What happened to Adam? Knew Eve, his wife, and conceived. You ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it, because when Ahiah speaks, he leaves different things there to teach his elects and those who are appointed and anointed by him to be his servants. He leaves things there because who's supposed to come? Do you think for real that everybody should be able to master this book and get it taught by a man and get it nailed down? Never was it even intended for you to do that. You couldn't even get the people past Genesis without him in the world. So they couldn't follow nothing righteous. So therefore, here, when you hear him in Genesis chapter 4 and verse 2, and she again buried his brother Abel. She just buried him. Just like, I'm going to set an example. Another example. Mary, she just buried Yeshua. You see what I'm saying? She just buried him and birthed him. You see? This is the same way when Abel came in. So when people run around here wondering how is it Abel knew to give an offering, let me tell you, Abel knew to give it out of the way that he gave it, because he didn't come here as the seed of Satan. He came here as the seed of Ahiah. Not born of a woman, but not of a woman. You see what I'm saying? So all you have to do is read it and see. That's why when Cain had took his life, he was able to cry from the grave. He cried out. He was crying to Ahiah. So Cain, he was of the flesh. Abel was of the spirit. And that's another thing I be trying to tell y'all bent. They got y'all all the way bent. I had to listen. I only listened to a good 45 minutes of this young, he ain't young, he's probably a little younger than I am, but European white man who came out of Straightway where Pastor died. His name is Eric, okay? And he's doing all his own ministry, and he called himself a teacher. Baby, that man don't understand. Baby, you better bag it up and bag it down. You bent. You bent all up. And then I sit here and say, yeah, that's right. He's saying that right. He's saying that right. But when I got into it and started listening, I said, hold up, bro. Hold up. You out of order. You out of order. And the only way he don't understand he's out of order is somebody like me, a prophet is in the wilderness that's taught by the Ruach, step into him. Because okay, this is the thing. He came from a bad tree. Okay. He was connected to a tree and it was bad. And he fell from the tree and remained on the ground until he got out. And now he's forming his own, you see? But bro, you got to stand down now. You came from a bad tree. You better start sitting up under the rock. You already done come from a bad tree, and that's pastored out. You fell from him. How is it you out now and you're a Gentile trying to teach that the tribe of the Hebrew Israelites are at error? Woo, that's deep. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. You won't find that in any scriptures. You won't find it. That the Gentiles and the heathen is going to teach us in the last days. You get it? So people don't understand when you fall that hard from a bad tree, you got to get cleaned up by the Ruach HaKodesh, and you better not come to the Ruach altar and until you come through Yeshua HaMashiach. Because when you come and you out now on YouTube and he's doing Negroes that fell also from the trees are eating him up, I'm like, say, hold up, y'all totally out of order. This man is sick. You are bent up and you are bent down. You're not following scriptures. Furthermore, you got to know the difference to the both promises. You got a spiritual promise and you got a natural promise. Which promise are you? He's so busy trying to get into the Hebrew Israelite promise, he confused. Because that promise you wasn't promised to. You're promised to the spiritual promise through belief, but he didn't tell the Gentiles to be grafted in through the promise of the land. He said you can get grafted in through the promise of Abraham, which is a spiritual promise, and that's how Abraham was counted. Abraham was accepted for his belief, and he was branded with faith, and he was branded with fear. Bro, you better stand down. Now I'm gonna have to come on them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on them, and when I get on them, I ain't gonna get off because you totally out of order. He got one thing up, and it's about an hour and a half preaching how the Hebrew Israelite organization, men, they out of order. Woo, bro, where you coming from? You see, this is why I say this man named Pastor Dow, he don't understand he's a bad, wicked tree. And that's why they got agents working in his facility where everything he's doing. I don't know if they got one or two, but this is what I know spiritual. They got agents working in there, seeing everything he's doing, jocking that mess down, collecting. You know how the FBI, when they do things, they don't mess with you for 10 years, maybe 15. But when they come, baby, they got it all down. That's how they going to get him. That's how they going to get him. And see, all because he thinking he's somebody because he got a couple of Gentiles or 3 or 4 Gentiles on his side. This particular Gentile fell from the tree. Okay? Now, if you fell from that rotten tree, bro, your best bet is to be holy. Your best bet is to stay on your knees and just work with you and your family. You ain't got no business teaching against what the Hebrew Israelites are teaching. Are they in error? Yes. But you in a bigger error than they are because you're trying to counteract and cross them out dealing with the word of Yah, and you cannot do that. Because Ahaya don't have nothing in here saying the Gentiles and the heathens is going to teach the 12 tribes the word of Yah. And that the Gentiles and the heathens is going to come in and get it right. No, bro, you on the other end. You're on the wrong end. But it leads you to understand, to me, it's not you, but to me, it leads me to understand what type of people this man is breeding. You see, because this man is bullheaded, stubborn. You know, you can't tell him nothing. This white Gentile, just like Pastor Dow is. And even though he's going up against him, you know, as different beliefs and going up against him now for the things that he's doing and the things that he have doing, baby, look, your best bet is to park your tail somewhere and sit down with you and your family and keep serving and not even serving, but praising Yah. You ain't got no business on this. That's why I call this a devil platform, because the people use it to the utmost. They use it and they abuse it and they take it and they think that it's a place where they can get on here and deceive people to believe them. Don't let them get somebody to believe them. Oh my, ahaya. And it's on, baby. It's no turning back into anything righteous. It's on to them. Once they get an audience that go like them and subscribe and say, yeah, you preaching it. Yeah, you teach. It's finished, honey. It's finished. And when I saw that, I was like, I began to write. I think I made 4 pages, and I'm going to break that thing down to go into him. But I'm going to have to go into him through the scriptures, because what he's saying is, now listen to this. He's saying that anybody can be an Israelite. They can be grafted into the Israelite. So what he's saying to the Israelites is, while y'all telling those fake Jews that they fake Jews, they can be Jews if they're grafted in. You see what I'm saying? If they're grafted in the Hebrew Israelite. I mean, not grafted in, if they're grafted in by Ahiah. He don't understand, baby. Your ignorance leave you lost. That shows you how much this Pastor Dowles have taught you and how much you hated his teaching. Because you all over the place in all the wrong areas. His best bet was to sit his tail down and stay off this devil platform, but he messed up because I didn't heard him. Now I got to go forth and break his tail down. And don't think I won't, because I am. And I've been dealing with that today. When I sit there and listen to that man for about 40 minutes, I said, no, bro, no, you didn't. No, you did. Yes. The Hebrew Israelites are messed up from the floor up. But it ain't for you. It is for me, the one that's called, appointed, and anointed to address that. Outside of Ahiah. But you, oh no, baby, you are all in the wrong area. You messed up. You done stepped in the wrong territory now, because I didn't heard you. Now I got to address you. See, because this shows me that he didn't learn nothing under this here bad tree. Anybody that falls from Pastor Dow's tree, they ain't gonna be up to no good, because they ain't gonna sit their tails down long enough to hear the voice of the Most High Ahiah teach them, because he's finished. He ain't coming to teach your tail nothing. You sat up under a man all this time and you believed him. I tell you what, keep believing him is what Ahiah said. Well, you asked me one, Sister Deborah, why you say that? Ahiah already done in Revelation, he already done marked his in the forehead. Keep following Revelation, you'll understand. They marked in the forehead. Well, why you say that? He told them to go and hurt the earth. At that moment, it was the tree, the sea. But then he told another angel, no. Go back down there and tell them, don't wait a minute, don't touch none of it until you have sealed my servant in the forehead. And see, what they don't understand, those servants are coming in through righteousness. They're not the servants that's coming in to the promised land. They're the servants that he has appointed and anointed and predestined before the foundation to enter back into his bosom to be able to reign with him. You see? So while he thinking that he can be grafted in the Hebrew Israelite, baby, that ain't it. I don't want to be grafted into no promised land. I don't give a rat's behind about a promised land. Just let me be in the eternal. The new Jerusalem. You see? But see, this is how these men have taught these people. You cannot, he thinking that any and everybody from Gentiles, any nationality can be grafted into the Hebrew Israelites. But he looking at it on the outer man, going back to the flesh. He don't understand Ahiah can give a poop about you being a Hebrew Israelite. Where's your spirit lining up with mine? Where's your righteousness? Did I seal you with righteous? Did I brand you with righteous? Did I brand you with belief? Wait a minute, hold up. Where's the brand on you of faith? Where's the brand on you of fear? If you got it, you mine. But it's the promise of eternal and not the promise of the land. So that's where he bent. He's trying to make the Hebrew Israelites wrong to prove that any nationality can fall into the promise of, he's so ignorant, it's the land. That's how ignorant your black men are in this Hebrew Israelite movement. They teach us these people that. And they don't understand. It's not you never go out thinking because you understand who you are and where you going in the promised land. Baby, it don't start there, nor do it end there. Oh no, baby, you got some more time. A lot of things gonna take place. But we got to stand before the judgment seat. And those that are already in righteous, they ain't gonna have no problem. They're already in righteous. That's what Yeshua said. Here, come on here. Let me come on right here where you were already prepared before the foundation of the world. You're already in righteous. And he called the righteous. You're already there. Well, who is these others going to be judged? You see what I'm saying? So as what was that? I was trying to what was that I was looking for? I did the Adam and Eve. For as the Adam and Eve having Cain, and how Abel was a keeper of the sheep and Cain was a tilter of the ground. Now, there's a difference between the two. Like when I was in elementary, I think I was like the 6th grade, I remember talking to different people, even adults, about Adam and Eve. In my spirit, I knew that Adam and Eve wasn't the end. There were more people created outside of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were the first. But after them being created, he also created others. Now, a lot of the people will say Cain married his sister, that Adam and Eve had, he married his sister. Y'all just full of it because you can't, spirit and truth ain't came before your door. Ain't taught you nothing. You still under flesh wisdom, flesh understanding, and flesh knowledge. You don't understand spirit and truth. So that's why you still stuck on loss. Okay, Adam, there was others that was created after Adam and Eve. He didn't, just because he said they was the first, don't mean they was the end. It wasn't just them. Okay, so this young man, young man, yeah, he about 2 or 3 years younger than I am, but he's gonna get backed up and backed down because I'm gonna bring it to him. And I'm gonna bring it to him with respect. To let them know you bent. I'm gonna have to say that you all bent up. You got it wrong, bro. But that's what being under that bad apple does. And people come from underneath that bad apple like that. I'm gonna tell y'all something. It is really, really, really hard to convince the people of any righteousness. You can't convince them because they still stuck on that bad apple they've been under for years. They still got that mindset. Not only that, he even talked like him, speak like him, curse like him. He slipped and said cursing words as he was teaching. I said, see that? If that ain't that man, see, people don't understand that time you spend under these bad teachers. Let me tell you something. Even on this devil platform, you become what you entertain and what you listen to. And then they're training you to think like they think, to feel like they feel, to talk like they talk, because you're thinking you got them up here. You want to be like them. That's that idling that he has said that Israel always been known for. Always idling. Soon as they got out of the captivity with Pharaoh, first thing they did, got on that land ready to idle. They want somebody they can worship, somebody they can, something that they can idle. That's just in their spirit, y'all. It's in them. So when this young man, he's been out, I think probably a little over a year, but you would never know it because now he's starting to come out with a different he's angry, but they are also angry with him. So it's a lot of chaos going on, and they both flip using the devil platform to flip their chaos. Okay. So I will say something else that took place with me today. I was trying to I ain't trying to understand it. I have accepted it. But today when I saw it, I was like, we ain't gonna get no break, y'all. We ain't gonna get no break. I've seen Europeans talk about COVID, the shot, what it's doing to people, and nothing happens to them. They talk about all that all out in the opening. They don't cut nothing. They said the words and everything. But why is it when I ain't gonna why? Let me put that out on my. Ain't no such thing as why. But when we speak on that level, they want to ban us, cut us off, And that is so powerful. For this here, you got what, more than probably 10 million people on YouTube. How is it that the white people can speak whatever they want, but the moment we say one word regarding COVID, oh, our whole thing gets shut down? I'm like, I'm sitting here listening to these men tell you that it was a drug, and here it is over in Israel, a rabbi sitting here telling you it's called COVID is called a, let me tell you what he said. He said it's called a mass murderer. He broke that thing all the way down, but where he broke his down confused me, because I was like, Father, how did I know that? I knew it extended for something they was preparing. That man broke that thing down, you all, and I sit there and I said, oh, let me get my phone. I'm going to take this here so I can send it to my daughter, so I can send it to my son. And the Spirit said, no, you don't. It's over, Deborah. You done enough revealing spirit and truth. It's over. Don't go around trying to convince nobody nothing, because they don't want to hear it. He said they take it in, and that's where it get lost, and they go on by their lonesome. And I was like, but I wanted them to see that this just what I've been trying to tell them for the last 2 years, that this is a setup from the floor. I call it a biochemical. Same thing this man was calling it in his way. They're able to put it what it is. He got it just as big as they. Mass murder. I'm going to give y'all the page so y'all can look at it. And I'm like sitting here, wait a minute. How do they get to say that? And I probably get cut off on this video and might get banned. How is it? Now you tell me if that's not powerful. That's if you don't see the power of the evil is able to separate certain people, even though the devil don't care what color you are, but he gives them the power to separate people for a reason within himself. Because if there's 10 million, how is it when I said I get cut off, but when they said it for 40 minutes, an hour, and I might have just said it out of my mouth for a second? How did I get cut off and they still on here? And that confused me. I said, Father, it's deeper than deep, ain't it? He said, Deborah, it is. It's just letting you know it ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. And no, they're not gonna say anything to him. I said, but they all on here telling the truth of the whole matter. But the moment I said one word, they're gonna cut mine off. This is what they're going to do. You think I'm gonna come down and do something different? You think I'm gonna come down and tell them, wait a minute, you don't do that to mine? Oh no, he ain't going that route. It's over, Deborah. It's finished. So when you see it, salute me. Father, let your will be done, and keep it going. Stay in your race, stay in your lane, and keep looking forward. Because all this stuff that's going on, you ain't gonna be able to change it. Not the mindsets of people. Like when I was telling my daughter, my mother and my sister, and I realized, wait a minute. Yeah, I was able to get it quiet down and peace, and we were able to bring each other back to family, you know. But when they left out, the father said to me, he said, Deborah, there's nothing you can say or do that gonna change neither one. And I said, Father, I really, really, really appreciate you, because I believe that. I believe that, Father, y'all. See, and that's why I know that I have the Comforter, because even in no matter what situation I'm in, whether it's good or bad, he comes back and expound on it to let me know, okay, this. And I'm like, yeah, you know, because I'm getting it. I'm getting what he said. Now, I wrote it down. I'm gonna make sure I give you all that, because I said I wanted to share that with you all so you can look at that. It's real interesting how, and when you hear this rabbi over in Israel talking to this doctor here over in this country, I know he's part of that I think it was like, I think they probably got up to like 6,000 doctors here in the United States decide to come together to fight against a lot of this thing that's out. Baby, let me tell you, why is it? You know they'll never win. You can't win. They can't win. They're not going to be able to win between these people. But see, they don't know that. They think they're going to be able to do like they used to do, coming to one accord. And this guy, I think they should have about 6 no, not 6,000. They had a big number of real professional doctors come together to go up against this COVID thing and it's shot and all that. They know that it's a biochemical. They know it. Just now, who am I? I'm a servant of the Most High, a higher, and I knew it before they did. But the thing about it is, it's nothing they can do about it, and that's what he was saying. You see that doctor talking, you see that rabbi talking, they putting it all out, and the rabbi telling them we got all the ruckus showing how we, the scientists and all of us got together and how they decide to further it and do this and do this. And it's amazing how he was telling them about it came through animal. They got the virus from an animal and tested on other animals to see it in a level of deadly. They wanted something that we breathe and attacks the lungs. I always knew that. Always knew that, you guys. Always knew that. I knew it was a biochemical. It was a biochemical. And it shuts your stuff down. But they knew what it was. And they could have froze it. But they didn't. Because they had a plan. And that was the plan. He said it was back in 1999. He said it back in 1999. I said 2004. I said 2004, but he said it was back in 1999, the rabbi. So I don't care where it was at. Always, when I hear people like that talking, I don't listen to my people. But when I hear people like that talking, they telling what they did. So I see him and I hear him. I be saying, Father, I just thank you for giving me that up on it. Because I can sit here and tell people 20 million times. It don't mean nothing, he said. Because they so busy hearing lies that they will believe the lie before they believe the truth. So the truth is never heard. So I was shocked that so much of that been on news and on the TV and all of this. And it even make me wonder, are they still a part of it? Setting something else up? Because why is it they not doing nothing to you? You saying the same thing I'm saying, but why I get kicked out? You keep on telling the whole story, letting everybody know what's going on. I'm like, that's messed up. But how is it they're able to do that? Because it's still like the Father said, you're cursed. You see, Sister Deborah ain't gonna come up out of this curse. I'm still his servant, but I ain't coming out before you and nobody else. You see? And in that curse, they're going to do the things that they're going to do. And so because we did not respect the curse, nor do we salute the curse. We don't honor the curse. We don't worship a higher in the curse. We don't repent to a higher in the curse. We don't praise him in the curse. We so busy saying what they doing to us and not understanding you're here because of you, not because of them. That's denying the curse. You see? So therefore, I say, okay, they doing only what a higher has orchestrated them to do. So when he was telling me, that's why you understand that I'm releasing it from heaven for them to be able to do what they're doing on the earth. See, I'm giving all the power and the authority back to who it belonged to. So I ain't got time to sit down here and give it to these heathens and Gentiles and these Negroes. The power don't belong to them. I know where it started and I know where it ended and everything in between. I give it back to the Father where it belongs. And that's why he teaches me where it comes from. Because I salute where it started and where it going to end. Still in his right hand. Praise the mighty Yah. Now I'm going to tell you all something. I hate the fact that I have to. No, let me not say that, Father. Forgive me. Let me not say I hate the fact. Because you with me, the Father has been with me all the way. It's no reason why I should hate the fact of nothing. Because guess what? He's showing me every step of the way. That's what you call really give and gave. That's what you call really a true creator is willing to comfort me all this way. He comforts me all the way. In spite of how bad things are, how good things can be here and here, and how bad and heavy it is, he comforts me all the way. Now listen to this. Then I get here and I see this man. And the first thing he said, this is another man. He said, now I know I just got back on. They cut me off. But I want to let you all know they might cut this video off and I might get banned in YouTube jail again. But I want to let you all know that same chemical that had the cold, guess what? He said they're getting ready to, I think they already done. I think they already doing it. I do. My own, because that's the way the spirit have led me. They already tampering with the things people intaking. Let me show you where. The man said they're putting it in the spinach and the lettuce. All the things everybody grabbed in this day and time to eat. Why? Because they're trying to get healthy. You see? And he began to say, he stay off the grid. I think that's what he called it. And he said they plant all their own, but he said they're telling you what they're doing. Yes, they are. That's why I don't get how could we be sitting around yang with all these YouTubers playing a game with them and playing patty cake baker man and he say, she say, he said, she say. And all this stuff is happening. That's deep for Sister Deborah. I sit back and see all this and I'm saying, but Father, they act like they don't even care. They don't. Everybody caught up in themselves and thinking that's something big. They really are caught up in them and theirs. They could care less what is happening in the world. But when it comes, it's too late. It's already too late, but it's coming. Because Ahia, he ain't into role play. You see, he ain't into that. And a lot of people don't understand. He knows who role playing and who ain't. He knows who's who and what's what. But this here European, he was talking about they had banned him for a length of time. And then he got back on and he say, I want to lead this here with you all. He says they're talking about taking the green vegetables and insert it, which is a good way of doing it because this is what everybody eat. And I know exactly what it means because I take grapes. I put a drop of bleach in the water, cold water, and let it run and drop the grapes in it and let it run. And what I call myself doing is clearing anything on the grapes. Just let the water run, keep running till the bleach is fully off. And I shake my grapes off and then I dip them again without bleach. And the bleach is just a drop. It's not a lot of bleach, y'all. And I rinse them again off real thorough. When I look up, you should see the black spots all in the grapes and it looks like a mold look all in the grapes. And I said, look at these here bad parts. How did this black? And you would think that it's the bleach, but no, I've seen some of them on the grapes before I dropped them into the bleach. So I know it was present on some of them. Same thing with the collard greens. They had cases of big old store full of collard greens in cake boxes. And I saw them things had black spots on. I said, no, how y'all selling this here like this? I left them there. I had picked them up, a bushel, 2, 3 of them, took them to the register. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Not like this. And I told the cashier, look at these here things. Look at these spots all on these greens. You see, what I'm saying is, you all, it's nothing you nor I can do about what they're going to do and what they are doing. It's nothing. It's nothing we can do. They have had so many movies about how they're going to taint and mess with food. And it's going to interfere with people's health. And it's going to cause many to pass away. And let me tell you something. This is what Ahia said to me. I'm not coming. I'm not coming to deliver these people out of that. I'm not coming to save them from what they are doing. It's just daytime. Okay? I had to release that for them to do what they're doing. So believe a lot of people thinking, oh, they down here doing it. They doing it, doing this. You messed up. You messed up. Because you never knew the right hand of the Father. You never knew anything about the stretched out arm. You never knew it. And because you never knew it, that's just on you. Okay. So he was saying that they're injecting it they're putting it into the spinach and all the other lettuce, different lettuce. And I said, that's they got that. They nailed that. Because that's something that, hey, a lot of people take up and eat. See if they put it in the greens. People cook greens. Yeah, they cook it. But the lettuce is the reason why they're coming through the spinach and the lettuce, because a lot of people like that raw. So that when you go to the market, and a lot of those green vegetables are raw, you see. So that's one way they can get it without even you getting nothing. You see, they can put it in there. You see, and he says that's what they're doing. He's saying he hope they don't catch what he said, but I caught it because I already was there. Here, I'm already there, y'all. I'm gone, like the Father said. I'm already there. So he's saying something that's bringing me confirmation. Okay. There's another thing they got out. It looks like different kind of candy and gummies, drops, and different kind of candy. It got chemicals in it to give you a mood swing. Now, that led me to realize how gone the world really is, because they're bringing drugs that you can eat to change your mood swing, to change the way you feeling, your mood swing, to tamper in with your emotions and your feelings. Ooh-wee! That's a dangerous zone. But they making stuff so you can eat and take that will give you a better feeling with your mood swings and your emotions. Father, yeah. Woo! You know what I mean? Do you all know most people messed up from the floor up already in their emotions and their feelings? So they trying to give them something to make them feel good. And it's almost like weed. And that's what they were showing, that they putting them in little drops, a gummy full of sugar. Then it's a little drop. It looked like candy. And y'all haven't seen, I don't know if you all have seen the commercials. They're actually selling that online. Big time. And they talking about it. And the sad part is when they want you to do some dirty work, they always get our people. That shows me exactly how gone we are. We have always been easy to do what's wrong than to choose what's right. We have always been a people like that. I don't even know why we trying to prove to somebody we all this and we this and we this when a higher know who we are. If we ain't concerned about how a higher see us and what he thinks of us, or how we have done him, or how we have disrespected him and profaned his name and all this stuff, how is we? I mean, we gone, y'all. It's gone. So I think that's kind of sad, because they can give that to a child to do whatever they want to the child. They can. I'm serious. It's already some ignorant people out here. Always people. I'm gonna tell you something. Reason why you know that a mother is you have to know a mother. You don't have a God-given mother. Okay, I like what the Father say. Honor your mother and father in Yah. That means that the mother and father that's in him. Because a lot of people think I'm mother and father, so I still stand as mother and father. Yes, you do. But he's telling them to honor those that are your mother and father, and do right by them, for this is good. Because he said in him. He's letting you, your mother and father that's in him. See, a lot of people, and that's why I said this young man, this man who fell off the bad tree of Pastor Dow, he don't understand that he's looking at the flesh side. He ain't looking at the spiritual side. So most of our camp guys and all of our Hebrew Israelite movement, period, they looking at the understanding in the natural. They haven't been able to grip understanding in the spirit. They don't know what that is. They don't know what spirit and truth is. Okay. And they haven't been able to grip that which is in the spirit. They easily grip that which is in the natural, because that gives them what their ear want to hear, what their body want to feel. You know, that they pleased with that. But the truth be told, that's why they still lost and going to be lost and be destroyed. It's because they're content with what they have, because it makes them feel like they somebody. Like a lot of these Hebrew Israelite men, they made sure they captured these men and make them think that they're leaders, they're rulers, they're kings, they're lions, and all. But then on the other end, what are you in the spirit? You see what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Okay, you ruler, you king, and you lion, but wait a minute, hold up. What are you in the spirit, man? Because without that, you nothing. You are nothing. You see? And even if you are in the spirit realm, you're not a lion. You're not a king. You're not a ruler. You are a slave in captivity. So I don't know why they would boost these men ego, because they knew that's the only thing they could deceive. And they have deceived even the strongest man and brought him to the weakest, especially Pastor Dow. He took them people who had money and brought them to the low of the low. And Ahia is never going to tell a man to leave his first family to run on there and get with Pastor Dow and get him a virgin. That's a fool of a man. That's a half of a man. Then you want to play like you king, you leader, and you ruler. What are you ruling? What are you ruling? You see what I'm saying? And then left your children. He got it bad. He take these men away from their first wife and their children, because anytime a man can do that to you, get you to believe, to leave your family, to go down there, to go get what he has down there and show it and flaunt it, makes you think life is better on that side, you stay over on that side. You as bad as any other that grow from that bad tree, because Ahia is, and he's will, and he's going to show up and show out in y'all, because he's been going on. And Ahia says, stand down, leave it alone. Don't forget, it's on my time. My time. See, and when they thinking this, everybody else is in trouble and they're going on, Ahia going to descend and gonna be in the prison with all kind of chaos, because a lot of that is coming. I mean, not coming, it's before us. Let's get to that. A lot of it, Revelation is saying. So now they got candy drops that gives you a different feeling, make to tamper with your emotions and your feelings, and make you, and that's what people go after. They want to be in sleep. Oh my goodness. You know how many people on all these substances to sleep? Anybody that's out that's taking substance to sleep is because Satan has stepped into their house. And I mean in their bodies. He stepped in, took over. That's right. He took over. Ahia created us to sleep. And when our sleep is deprived, it's because something then stepped into our house and took our peace. You see? And we run around here, going to get medication so I can take this here, so I can sleep, so I can relax. No, baby. Satan it has entered, and I don't care what you take. It'll be that this year or this 6 months. It'll be something next. And the moment you try to lay down without it, you ain't gonna be able to do without it, because he knows he's living in that house, and he ain't gonna give you what you call peace, and that's what you get. Sleep your 7 and 8 hours. Okay. People are not moved at all by what they're seeing in the world today. Nobody seems to be moved. And I'm like, okay, Father, it's like no one is seeing your right hand. No one is seeing your judgment. What is going on? Oh, they're not going to, they're not moved by it. A lot of people say, well, if it ain't affecting me, I don't see it. It's over there, but it ain't with me and mine. I ain't worried about it. But guess what? It's not the only one that's out. It's a lot of things taking place. And I'm going to cover that. I'm going to say in Revelation chapter 7, verse 3, he told them to seal his servants in the forehead. You know why? It's time to rumble. That's why. It's time to rumble. And where he's going to first rumble? He's going to first rumble with the sea, the trees. He's going to rumble that way. And he has. A lot of people is not moved by what is going on. They're not taking heed to the things that's already happening, because they feel as long as it ain't over in our country, we ain't worried about it. As long as it ain't us in our state, we ain't worried about it. As long as it ain't in my city, I ain't worried about it. But it's happening, you guys. It's actually, these things are actually happening. Now, he's going to throw down. Once them heads were sealed, Okay, this is you all. You remember? I think we talked about that movie about that water. Remember? And I think they got 3 movies out in the last 20 years about how the water, something's going to be done to the water. When heaven's going to release something to affect the water, and it's going to kill thousands. Okay? Yes, it is. Heaven's going to release it. He's going to approve it to be, he's going to release it by, that's his approval. Okay? So whatever they do to the water, okay, he's going to lightning and thundering and earthquakes. Okay? And it's that volcano is going to cut up from the floor. It's going, when it hit that sea, it's going to kill many. It's going to kill many. The volcano is going to kill many, along with those fishes that's in the sea. It's going to send a sign. These are the things that he's sending a sign. And whether we believe it or we know it or not, if you go over to some of those states that's hot, you find out right now it's snowing. You see, you find out that things are going on that's not the norm. Okay, this is what he told that angel to do before you start to cut up on the floor, up on the earth. And I mean the sea roaring and the trees being damaged, or you going after, see a man's in their head. So I know, Sister Deborah know for sure that Ahia have sealed his in his forehead, in their forehead. And he called them his servants. Okay. So this is another reason why you can say what you want. It's over. So you can go on and plot your plan and what you're going to do, what you got here. It's over. Okay. Now, the earth is suffering much, but it's all due to what Ahia has released from the heavens for the earth. The water is definitely going to be affected. The sun, the moon, and the stars, they're going to be affected as well. The sun, a man just showed a clip. He was driving his car, and it was too hard for me to draft because I was thinking about how I was telling you all I was couldn't deal with the sun, and that it was burning my skin, and it wasn't like the normal sun. It was the heat of it and the brightness of it. So I think this man took this last week. He was driving his car, and he's showing you the sun going down on the right hand of his car, side of his car, and on the left side, a big old sun sitting there, and it's all out of shape because it's so bright. And I was like, wow, So I do know that the sun, the moon, and the stars will be affected after he gives the keys to an angel to release that which is coming out of the pit. Okay, so he's going to give him that to release whatever that is that's coming out of the pit. He calls them locusts and scorpions. But then as you continue to read, it said it looks like a man. So it leads me to understand the things that Ahia loose. So when you go to Revelation, don't take it literally that when he says locusts and scorpions. He's releasing the power to be able to bring out what they got planned. You know what I'm saying? Satan and his. You get what I'm saying? So I know it says the locust is like the scorpions, but then it says it's got hair like a woman, got a face like a man. I'm like, wait a minute now. Are you talking about men or what? So you have to not see it the way it is, the parable of it, but you got to see the deepness of what he said. And the Euphrates River is drying up. Now, the Euphrates River was given to Abraham seed, okay, his offspring in Genesis 15 and 18. In the same day, Ahia made a covenant with Abraham. That was a promise, saying, until thy seed I give it this land. Do you all understand what I'm saying? That's the promise. That's not the promise of eternal life, you guys. I'm sorry they taught you all like that. and it's in your mind to believe that, and your mind is locked. Can't nothing remove it. It's in there. You believe it. Okay. Now he said, I give this land from the river of Egypt, which is the Nile River, until the great river, the river of Euphrates. You know how far that runs? Do you know how far that runs? So while the Euphrates River is drying up, they down digging. I mean, all the places. This one man trying to get billions of dollars from the government, their government, so that he can be over it. But that thing go a long ways. And you should see the stuff that they're finding where the river once was. The hard clay that's underneath the river now that it has dried up. They're finding all kind of goodies, y'all. Well, okay. But also something else coming out of Euphrates River. There's going to be 4 beasts coming up real soon. So it has to, they're not coming up out of the water. They're going to be coming up out of that dry land. And that's, I can understand that too. I can see where different countries like Iran and even Russia, everybody fighting over the Euphrates river drying up and the things that they're finding in it. I can see that because there also the 4 beasts is coming up out of there, okay? And there's going to also, in Revelation 16, there's going to be a war on that ground. On that ground. I believe, how is it? What this is the part that bothers me. But it don't really bothers me because when you got the comforter is truly a comforter. And he really helps me out a great deal because I'm always in his face about something. Why is it that these Negroes, we talking about we the true Jews, we this, but none of them sit down long enough to be up under the Ruach to understand that the Euphrates River was given all the way down in there, and the river itself was given to Abraham. It was given to Abraham's. It was promised a covenant with him for that land. How did everybody else end up with it? I don't care. And it don't matter to me. But why is it that the people who said that they are the people, why is it they're missing such a large part of what's actually have taken place and is taking place? How could they miss it? You want me to tell y'all how? It's because they're gone. They're gone already. That's the only way I can see it. That's the only way I can see it. I can't see it no other way. I hear prophets, prophetess, apostles, pastors, seers, Maureen, watchmen, talking a whole bunch of crap. I mean, they are so far off of anything, spirit and truth. Anything that leads to the light. They are so far. Okay, let's say if North was a spirit and truth and the light. Want me to tell you where they're at? They so far from North, they so the deepest South can be. That's where the mindset of a people. That's where they're at. That's where they're at. And is that something? See, what they thought and what they still think is they're going to be able to run their mouth. They think that they're going to be able to control this. They're going to be able to rule you all, their own people. They know they ain't going to be able to rule the oppressors, the heathens and the Gentiles. But they thinking that who are they going to deceive? Their own people. They're not out to deceive the world. They're out to deceive their own nations because they did a wonderful job. And when they deceived them, they made them have the same mindset to where both minds are gone. So anything that's going on is finished. They're gone. Now, everything else is going to have to take place according to what? The prophecies. All up in Revelation, all the way to the end. You see? Now, what's what I understand in spirit and truth? The moment the count is at the count in Ohio, he knows they gone. He knows they gone. He knows they gone. And when it gets to a certain count, then that's when he's coming. But the key to him coming to bring his out, they got to be gone. You see what I'm saying? Because that fulfills that fulfills the curse until they are destroyed. Until they are destroyed. And what happens after that? Then I'm coming for. And that's why it's going to be a lot of cleaning up the filth and a new mind, a new heart, not a new mind, a new heart, a new name, a new spirit. That's what you call real cleaning up and delivering. But this got to be gone because that's the end of the curse. So even though it sounds bad, it's really a good thing. It's just that the problem that I had with it is, I said, Father, they never recognize your curse. He said, they never recognize nothing that I done, Deborah. So what's next? But do that stop me from keeping on? No, it doesn't. Because I said, Father, they don't get it. They don't get it until they're destroyed. He said, they ain't never got nothing he ever showed them, even way back in Genesis. He said, they never got it. But is it going to stop his word from being fulfilled? No, it isn't. So once we are destroyed, then he's going to swoop us up out of where we at. And these things going to continue because guess what? The two prophets that's coming, they're not going to even be over in this country. They're not going to even be over here. The two prophets is not going to be over in this country. They're not going to be over here. And it says it already in Revelation. They're not going to even be over here. So that's why I think when you hear them prophets, those prophets talking about Kanye and this Kyrie were the two prophets. I said, you's about a fool if you don't know it. You know, so if they knew the word, see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of these people don't even know the book, let alone spirit of truth. I'm gonna tell y'all something else I learned this week alone. No, in the last 3 days, people are stealing information from other people, and that's how they build it up on their platform. I've heard Charles tell me, this lady sitting here saying this. Didn't you say that? I was like, when you hear that? And he tell me what I said. It's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But the problem is, if Ahia didn't put it in you to be that prophetess, then you ain't got to, you don't have the righteous in you to be repeating what the prophetess is saying unless you are a prophetess or a prophet. We are subject to each other, he said. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm learning is they are taking out time, looking at videos. And I think that's the wickedest thing to do, period. Because people are looking at these videos and seeing who and what information they can pick up to put on their video and win the souls, the spirits of people. And that's all. That is off the chain. I sit there and I said, he referred me to 3 of them. And I was like, now, you know, that's exactly what I said. He said, well, yeah. And I'm saying these people are watching and listening, waiting for certain things one is saying so they can climb on top of it and say something toward it. It's kind of sad, but it's something that this is what they've been doing for too long. It's not something they're going to stop because it's feeding their page. It's making them think they know something and they steal information. But see, that's the thing about it. When I used to hear this one prophet say that, I used to think, oh, ain't nobody want your information. Nobody's stealing that. You know, I used to think that was, but then that has happened, I think 3 times to me. I don't have no problem with it because spirit and truth should always be spread abroad. But what it does is those that gets it, they get it and try to teach around it and teach it. And everybody thinking, because this is one prophetess, she has it real bad. She has it real bad of hearing people and portraying as if she teaching something. She wears all that white. And I'm like, this child is off the chain. And Another thing, it's too much he say, she say on these devil platforms. It's just too much. Our people are getting, our men are getting so they so far into sensitive. They so I don't know. They just he said this and he said that and he said this and he said that to me. And the women is just as worse. And I'm like saying, world on the line that we on your time, Father, and it's still as dark can be out here. To me, it's just like nobody is trying to find any way to spirit and truth. No one is trying to find any light. You know where he says, narrow is the gate that leads to righteous, that leads to life, and very few shall what? Find. I don't think nobody out there finding it, looking for it. It's sad. But that's where he's getting that few. That's what he's getting that few from. Because ain't nobody out there looking. They could care less. And it goes back to what he said. He could care less either. It's finished. And what he's meaning, he's finished. He ain't saying we finished. He finished. So a lot of things, like I told y'all about a month 2 months ago, you thinking he gonna come to you and he's gonna be there when you come calling him up and dialing him and dropping to your knees. Oh, baby, let me tell you something. Okay, because if his righteousness don't rest within you, his belief is not branded in you, his faith is not branded in you, his fear is not branded in you. He said, for my name's sake. Why? Because I got you branded for my name's sake. So everybody else, they clowning. And if you feel that you that individual that's clowning, you better go to some type of altar and make sure you know who you serve. Because I wouldn't even want to go into the year 2023 not knowing who I serve, really who I represent. Because it's getting worse. It's not going to get better. And guess what that word's going to bring on? It's going to bring on issues, and you're going to be tried by the fire. How you like them now. You're going to be tried by that fire in which you feel you can stand right now. Oh, no, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. And once you get really tried by that fire, it's going to tell you really who you serve. It really is. And I really do. I just thank the Father for all the things he has done to show me what's what and who's who. He have blessed me with the spirit of discerning. And then he gave me his spirit. And with his spirit, he said, you try that spirit by the spirit. And I love him for that. And let me tell you something. The young man that I was telling you, he no young man, this man that fell from that bad tree, who out now called himself teacher, him, let me tell you something. This man do not understand. He's playing with some hardcore fire. He's playing with some hardcore fire. Because a higher is not telling you you got eternal life. That only comes after he have branded you for his name's sake. For his name's sake. You know when he sent the angels in Revelation? What was that? Revelation. Let me see what that was. Revelation. No. Now listen to this. In Revelation chapter 7, that was my 7. Let me see, did I have that posted? Revelation chapter 7 and verse, let's go to verse 2. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living Ahia. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, okay, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Now, if you go to your YouTube and you put on the sea and the earth is moaning or going through or anything, and it starts to show you all around the world what's going on, then you say, well, wait a minute, Deborah, we there already. See, a lot of y'all don't think it's already happening or have happened because you feel, oh, it ain't happened to me. It ain't in our country. It ain't in our state. It ain't in my city. It ain't in my neighborhood. That's the mentality have always been of Israel. Self-centered, self-motivated, self-concerned. Never thinking, okay, this is not about me as an individual. Who is it? Can it be about? How can I help someone else? How can I be about the Father's business? Nobody searched that in their hearts because their heart is where their flesh is and not where their spirit is. Now listen to this. So this angel went down to tell the other angels it was given to her, that was given to her the earth and the sea. This is what he said, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have sealed the servants of our Ahiah in their forehead. Wait a minute, hold up. Don't you know, for them to have that mission, they're going to have to see who's who already. See, he ain't sending them down to just see who they feel. It's going to be something they're going to see to know who is the servant of Yah. See, that's how we think in our mentality. Listen to what he said in verse 2. Revelation chapter 7, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east. This is John giving you the look of it. Having a seal of the living Ahiah. Okay. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was already given to hurt the earth and the sea. And this is what he said. Hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees. So even though they were already in the mission to do these things, this other angels come and tell them, hold up. Or how you say, hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, till you have sealed the servants of our Ahiah in the forehead. In the forehead. So how is these angels going to know? These four angels that's come to destroy the earth, the sea, and the trees. They job to destroy that. You know why? Because Ahiah has already been sealed, already been branded. So just because you don't know, because you caught up in your flesh, that's why he said try the spirit by the spirit, so you will know who's who and what's what. And if he give you other gifts, that's what it was for. To work within the body, those that's in the body of Hamashiach. But no one wants to do that. No one cares. No one is concerned. So what did he say? He tells them to seal. The seal, the ones that are higher, that's already branded. That's how they're going to know who's who. Because Ahiah is already branded. I told y'all that. They was branded before the foundation of the world. It wasn't based on what they did here. It don't matter. You came down as mines. You coming back up as mines. Everybody didn't go rumble like that. Because mines is mines. I'll tell you another way. You remember when Judas had betrayed Yeshua, and old nosy Peter laid his head on Yeshua's in his chest and said, what happened? What about Judas, the betrayer? And what did Yeshua tell him? That ain't none of your business. That ain't none of your business. But he told Peter that don't concern you. It would have just been better had not he been born. Because his whole destiny was to betray Yeshua. And what Yeshua told Peter, that don't concern you. It would have just been better had not he been born. Because if he wasn't born, he couldn't betray me. Because his whole ideal of being born was to come to betray me. You see? So when you all thinking that your life is yours and you rule, you control, and you don't do nothing but go either to heaven or hell once he send you there. That's how much control you got. You ain't even got control over life and death. Half the time you ain't got control over having to use the bathroom or not. That's really controlled by the system that he put in you. You see, when we run around here talking about us, we control it, you don't do nothing. Control your ugly mouth when it's evil. That's about it. But the reason why these angels had the ability to seal, having the seal of the living Ahiah, that was that one angel. But these he was telling them, told them, saying in verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the tree, till we have sealed the servants of Ahiah in their forehead. Because Ahiahs are already branded. So the angels knows who belong to Ahiah. So when they said the 144,000, they have already been sealed, you guys. Those the one that's going in there are those also be the one that goes into the gates. You know, different gates they got listed in different names. You know, the tribe of Judah and so on. These are those that's already branded by Ahiah's, for Ahiah's name's sake. That's why he tells you, he that endure until the end shall be saved. Endure what? That which I place in you, an endurance spirit. I bring you with it. So you can endure whatever, Deborah, has to take place when the time you are here. Endure it until the end. Because you saved already. So I'm speaking endurance, because endurance is not something that you or I can build up within ourselves. It is not something we can do. It ain't something we can make. It ain't something we can think. It is something that he has created. Another brand, another a part of him to run the race. You see, endure it until the end. You shall be saved. See, and this is why I say that the man that fell from Pastor Dow's tree, he's bent because you didn't come in through Israel. You were grafted in to Israel, okay? But you're grafted in as it, whether y'all know this or not, they're grafted in like the 144. The 144 is from the tribe of Israel. I mean, the 12 tribes. I mean, the 12 tribes. But the Gentiles are grafted into that one. You see, they're not grafted. He's so ignorant. They're not grafted into the Israel as the people, as a tribe. No, that's what he thinks. Anybody, some Oriental and anybody, Oriental and all these other races, Russian, whoever, they can be grafted in. No, they can't, baby. They can't come in that way. They can't come in that way. Not through that. They are grafted in through one thing. Boy, I was mad. Woo! Woo! Y'all, I was so mad. Woo! I was mad. When I kept reading it, I said, no, it's got to be more to this. I wasn't settling for that. I said, oh, no, they ain't, Father. I don't care. They ain't being grafted in. Not them people. No. They ain't being grafted in. No, they ain't. Oh, y'all, hey. I had to stand all the way down. Because when he came to me, he had to break that thing to me. And when he did it so sweet. Oh, he did it so sweet. He said, Deborah, they are grafted in through one thing. Through one thing. Anybody in the live chat know how the Gentiles got grafted in? They are grafted in through one thing. And through that one thing gives them the 100% grafted in. Nope. Nope. But I feel that they're grafted in through one thing. Not faith, even though faith is a part of it. but it's not faith. Because and I was mad, y'all. I'm telling y'all, that's why I say, there you go, belief. That's how they got grafted in. What did I tell y'all? Remember when Abraham was in the vision talking to a higher on holy ground? And he said, I'm going to count you on in as righteous. And what comes behind righteous? Belief. So Abraham believed after he was counted righteous. See, you got to come in through belief, through righteous, because Ahijah had counted him in righteous. That means belief follows faith and fear. You see? So he said to me, they only come in through belief. And it is said through believing Yeshua HaMashiach. But the belief is the belief that took place before the foundation of the world. You see? They were already in the Lamb book of life. You got it. Belief. They were already in there, y'all. So that's why I say, when y'all hear me talking about other races, I don't bother them. Because I know, but I was mad. I said, no, I'm sick of them thinking they coming in through this belief. No, they ain't coming in nowhere. They ain't coming in nowhere. And boy, I mean, if you could have felt how Ahijah taught it to me. He taught it to me so delicate and so the way he taught me. He said, Deborah, come on, let's go back to belief. He had me looking up every verse under belief. I said, wait a minute, this belief is something else. He said, yeah, it is, isn't it? I said, wait a minute, hold up. Through belief? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute, Father, belief is you. He said, yes, through me is how they got grafted in. And they didn't get grafted in when they came down to the earth. They were grafted in the heaven when the Lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world for the mission of redeeming them back to him. So see how ignorant this man is? He's trying to get grafted in to the tribes. You ain't grafted into the tribes. You're grafted in through belief. The belief that Abraham believed because he was what? Counted righteous. See, the first step is righteous. And then it's belief that comes on top of righteous. Then it's faith. Then it's fear. They stack up on each other because they're all of Ahijah. So when you're looking for that narrow gate, it leads to life. Life is full of righteous. And that's why few are going to find it, because it's a gate that leads to righteous through eternal life. And very few is going to find it, because in Ahijah, it's few. It is not the number everybody looking at. That's why I said to y'all, when you see 144, you never consider that to be a whole lot. That's like 1%. That is nothing. That's 1%. That's very narrow, very few. So what I'm trying to say also should bring a lot of you all to understand that this is why it's through belief. He said, this is why it's finished. Y'all, do you see you get it? This is why it's finished. He said, it's not, no one can add, no one can take away, Deborah. And that's what he taught me as a young girl. What took place before the foundation of the world. That's when it was finished. Once I understood that, okay, now I understand it is finished. His understanding is finished now. So you ain't gonna come and help. You ain't gonna come and get us out of this. You ain't gonna come and, when it get really bad, but Father, when they start sticking us and shooting and killing us, are you gonna come? No. When they was hanging on a tree, did I come? When these cops are killing, do you see me coming? So he's so many things we as a people have not recognized. He have not come to deliver us from it. Why? Because we reject his curse. His study said, I put this on you. You keep saying, no, you didn't. They did it. I put it. No, you didn't. They did it. So what are you doing? You rejecting the punishment I put upon you. You turn your head away from it as if it's a lie and it didn't exist. That's why you still in it. You see? So a lot of other things got to take place. But I'm like saying to the Father, how you think they gonna, you think they gonna graft it if they go? He said, no, they ain't gonna graft it. But my word got to walk itself out. That word got to walk itself up out of here. It got to go according to the way he said it. Whether they up here is gone or not, it don't matter. And a lot of people don't understand being destroyed. For them to destroy us, that's the completion of the curse. But that's also where he gonna take us up out of here. That's where you get the victory. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. And the reason why you're gonna still be cursed, going in, we were cursed, and coming out, you're gonna be cursed. Why are we still cursed? Because we still, when he zipped us, when he get us out of here, we still not at the promised land. It's going to take a little time for us to get to the promised land the way he has planned it. And I believe if we're still cursed, there's some things going to be going on down yonder. Woo! I think some things going to still take place. That's why I say people are looking forward to the promised land, but I'd rather look forward to eternal life. I'd rather look forward to getting myself right with a higher, at least in that the best that I know how, to know that I am one of the ones, instead of just continue and say, okay, he got his marked, I'm one of his, and I can do whatever I want, I can say what I want, I can be what I want, no, we can't look at it like that. That's why I say, I wouldn't go out of this year without knowing. And yeah, you'll definitely know. You'll definitely know. That's right. You would definitely know. Yep, that is so true. So we really have to, I don't know, we just have to somewhere find within us the strength to really stand, even if it happens. I don't know if standing in the mirror will really help, but just to know our hearts. See, we are not searching to find our ways, but our hearts. If our hearts are righteous, you see what I'm saying? That's where it's at. It's if your heart, if I ain't talking about your natural heart. People don't understand you got a spiritual heart. If righteousness is found in that, you see? And like I said, going into next year, hey, I wouldn't go out of this year not knowing. With me, this is how I came up with it, y'all. I came up with the idea of I might be marked in the forehead, because a higher talks to me 3 or 4 times a day. He tells me what's right and what's wrong, what to look for, how to look at situations, how to measure situations, how to think about situations, and how to endure. You see, he ever teaching me how to endure, And what I mean by that is, Deborah, this is this way, and this is the way it's going to be. But I need you to know that it's okay. It's okay. Don't think I'm distanced from you. Even though this is happening, I'm with you all the way. You see, if this is a sort of conversation that I get in my spirit. You see what I'm saying? This is the sort of something happened. I talked to him, the Father, I think it was like Wednesday. And it was Friday. No, it was Thursday evening into Friday. Ahaya brought that thing to play. I was like, I know you, don't you? I know you. I can see you at a distance. I know you. I know you. And it was so sweet, because it's almost, let me tell y'all what he tells me. It's almost like he tells me, it's going to be okay. Okay? Just relax, embrace whatever the situation is, and know that I got this. Not you, but I got this. And that's what he's been working with me on lately. Really, just, it's okay. Even coming to on this place, Deborah, what I said is finished. You see, I know you it's just so much assurance that he has placed in my spirit and even in my flesh to let me know. Because I know when my mother and sister was here, they were both out of, boy, I'm telling you, and it to me, only thing I could just say to them is just forgive. Let's forgive one another. And just when we say these things, think before we speak them and know that, some words, what though I learned? I'm going to tell y'all something I learned though. And that's what my baby girl said to me. And I'm going to show you how the devil worked. She said to me, after me and my mother and my sister talked, we came out of it in peace. And when I say in peace, we hugged each other and said we're going to start loving each other more and supporting each other, that sort of thing. My daughter got in the car that evening and said, can you take me here? I took her there. That girl got in that car and began to say all this stuff. And I'm like, I was so proud of having a higher on my side, because it wasn't very much I could say. It wasn't words worth even speaking. And you should have seen the peace that came out of it. Father said, don't use your energy. You already know. And that's why I say, even coming constantly on this devil platform, I just thank God for all that he shares with me. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can go to bed, wake up in the morning, he'd tell me what the day gonna be like. This person you gonna run up on. When you get to the store, this person gonna come in and buy this that been here a year, or this person is gonna be here, this person gonna show up, and I'm like, wait a minute, this getting too close. And what I mean by getting too close, it used to be a time when I was younger, he would say things to me and bam, there it was. Like that money that was on the ground. When I get ready to go to the store, I say, Father, can I have some money? Bam! There it was. I'll never forget them days. Even in high school, the first anything that I say to him, he always was there to respond. Anything that I saw or anything, he was always on time. Oh, never late. I mean, he was just, everything was just, and as time went on, and yes, there was, I'm going to show an example. My oldest son and I were staying in an apartment on a busy street, which was a lot of them. And it was like 12 o'clock that night, and I was ironing my uniform, and my son was in the bed. And the father came to me, he said, Deborah, I'm going to show you how he come. He said, Deborah, it's a man trying to get in on the side of your house. And you know what? I had already heard the sound because my ironing board was right there, not by the window, but it was nice and quiet. My son was asleep because he had to go to school. And I was just me because I was ironing my clothes. And it was like 12 o'clock. And he just talking to me like it ain't nothing. I ran to the window, looked out there. The devil is a liar. The devil was trying to cut this computer out. But I looked out the window, and there I didn't see anything. It was pitch dark. But I heard something in the gangway. I heard it before I was ironing, before he even brought it. But he was telling me. And y'all, about time I got back in there to start back ironing, guess what the man's hand was? Through the mailbox. He was whole arm coming through the mailbox. I took that thing and hit it so hard, he hollered and took off running. I called the police too. They came. But I'm just showing y'all how anything went on, he always told me ahead of time. It wasn't a time where stuff happened and then he don't tell me ahead of time. And even if it don't have nothing to do with me, if it's something I'm going to see, he'll tell me ahead of time. He'll tell me now, this. He did this. So me, myself, that's the way I've known him. That's how I see him. That's why I believe in who he is and what he tells me. Now, when he says study to show thyself, he says study to prove to yourself that you can study to show yourself. He didn't say to show nobody else, because he knew that to really get it, you're going to need the Spirit to teach you spirit and truth of what you study. You see, but see, people don't understand you need spirit and truth, but people don't have that. So they go based on what they study and what they're being taught. But you need the Holy Spirit to be able to break this thing down to you in the way that he has orchestrated things in here for your understanding. You see, everything in here is not of a higher, but whatever is, you don't have the gift to separate it. You don't have the gift, but the Ruach HaKodesh does. Anything smeared, he can wipe that thing up. Anything crooked, he can make it straight. So you can get the fullness of what he orchestrated before the foundation of the world. But when we trust in people, flesh, then we leave him out. And a lot of people don't even understand this devil platform. It couldn't have been without a higher releasing them the technology and the know-how to make this come forth. You see? Even that I know he controls. The devil got it under his because, believe it or not, if you had, let's say 10, just use the number 10. 9.5 is on the devil's side. Only 0.5 is on a higher side. You see what I'm saying? But it don't mean a higher ain't giving them the whole overall from heaven to be able to do what they're doing. Why? Anybody knows? Why? Do anybody knows? Anybody knows? Why would a higher allow them to reach this destiny, to have the technology to do this, to do this, and 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 to do this? And even though a lot of it can fall under evil and wicked, why? Why? Do anybody know? In the live chat. Yes. Anybody know? You know what it is? He got a will to fulfill. There you go, Charlie Brown. To fulfill his will. See, a lot of people think, oh, his will is all righteous and all this. No. He's the potter of the clay. He said he caused one to honor and one to dishonor. That's showing you right there. He ruled the both. And he the one created the both. So he had to have created everything to go according to what? His will. Can his will be walked out without him creating it or allowing these things to be? No, it can't. We got to walk out what he already willed out. He took that will out before the foundation of the world. He wrote that thing out. He wrote that will out and said, okay, now, bam, there it is. There it is. That's why I say it's sad. A lot of people don't understand. When it said, we know he don't need no rest. He was sending another message to his elect when he said, it is finished. And he rests on that 7th day. See, it's deeper than just like the world think it is. Let me get some rest. I work 6 days. I'm going to rest. No, baby, please. That rest is not what you think it is. There's a spiritual side to it. Just like you would think it's a natural side. It's a spiritual side. And that's kind of sad because, like I told you, he was telling me about Genesis 1 and Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. How if they miss that, they're going to miss the fullness all the way through. And it has been 100% to be true to me from what he have said. Because if you miss that Genesis chapter 1 and that Genesis chapter 2, you'd have missed it all. And it's sad, but it is what it is. But it don't end nothing. His word is still going to walk that will out. That will going to show walk his word out. So, and if he's the potter of the clay, and he's forming one to honor and one to dishonor, that's telling you right there, hey, I rule this. But we don't want to give him the praise for it. We don't want to give him the glory. Because that's why Sister Deborah says she saluted all of his will. I don't care if it's wicked, evil, what, I salute it. Whatever you want to say, I salute it. Because I know that this is my Father's will. This is what has been shown to me even when I was a teenager. So that's why I can't turn my face any other way but toward him. to the hill from whom it my help truly come from, because I ain't got no other help. There it is. And I really appreciate how he takes out time. And this is why I say he teaches me. I'm gonna tell you something else he teach me. Never be addicted to nothing. Oh, I love that. Woo! And you know what, y'all? This old silly lady, I just can't stand to be addicted to nothing. I would stop something quick if I feel I'm being targeted to do it and continue to do it. Continue. And then all of a sudden, oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. And that's how he have taught me. Don't ever be addicted to things, because if you do that, then it controls you and you don't control you. You see, because now I got to do this because I've been doing this, and a lot of people do things out of tradition, still doing things out of tradition. How you say, what if I come and want you to do this? Would you be able to do it? Would you be able to come up out of your tradition? 99.1 trillion, you couldn't, because they so used to doing it their way. They wouldn't know how to do it. Hey, cold turkey, I'm gonna do it a highest way, because they so used to doing it their way. But this is another sign for me when I say that I know that I am not. Yeah, I believe I am, without a doubt. I'm marked, because I could, let's say, I don't care where I go, he will let me know who's who and what's what. Say, for instance, I'm driving down the street and I'm in the city and there's 3 guys on this side and there's 2 guys on this side. If I'm driving this way, if I'm driving this way and I got my doors unlocked, okay, and my windows down, I'm just driving. He would say, either roll your windows up, or Deborah, it's one gonna come to your car, shake your hand. He tells me what to do. You get what I'm saying? I don't know this one gonna come up to my door, but he tells me before he comes to the door, or before he walked to the door. See, these are the things I'm saying to you all. Like this one lady, I came in the same area when I be going to the store, and this lady, she's always at that spot. So he'll say, give her $10. Or he might say, give her 20. But when he say, don't give her nothing, Sister Deborah, don't. Sister Deborah, don't. I hear that voice talk to me. 24. If I'm in my sleep, he'll get up and say, just give me a little praise. I'm like, I can't do without you. I praise you because you're so wonderful. You're so great. When I finish, I be like, boom, back to sleep. That's just how awesome he is. You can do whatever. And it's things that he does to let you know you out of the natural realm. You're in a spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I think that I am marked. It's because it's a non-stop communication that him and I have. He tells you that all the time too. I know that's right. Yeah, that's good, because that's how you know you marked, because why would he be trailing you? And wait a minute, but you say it's finished. If it's over, you're still dealing with me because you are marked. You see, I ain't never done with you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people don't understand, that he got his. And he's going to see to it. I don't need no banana. I know I don't. Now, why I'm going to eat a banana where I'm on? I ain't somewhere I'm lost. I'm gone too, y'all. But so yeah, that's what make me think. And when he talks to me about certain things, he'll say, okay, when you go over here, it's a lady with a red dress. She's going to start talking to you. And it can be 3 hours when I go over to a certain, and this lady come up with a red dress and start talking to me. That's how, when I be trying to tell y'all, he talks to me throughout the day and I learn something. And you know what? To learn something from a higher every day, that means you got the open spirit. What does that mean? Anybody know what that means? To learn from a higher every day. What could you say that mean? What could you say? It's two words, two separate words. Every day. Huh? Anybody know? Do I have to say it? Hunger and thirst. That's got to be hunger and thirst, because it's always something new I would want to hear or learn. It's never like, okay, I know it all or I got it all. Y'all. Do you think that he comes to me and talk to me because I know it all? Come on now. Somebody need to, do that make any sense? If I know it all, why you keep coming to me every day 3 and 4 times telling me stuff? Because I don't know it all, y'all. And I never claim I do. But I just give him all praise and honor and glory to take out that time to spend with me, to tell me what he wants me to know. Because I don't know it all. And you know what? I thank him that I don't. Because when I first heard that man talking about, that white guy talking about the Hebrews got it wrong, and that Gentiles and other races, Russia and China, they can be grafted into Israel. I'm like, some things he first started off, I was like, nah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Because he was telling us how we are as people teaching. And I said, yeah, I can agree with that, because they are teaching like that. But then when he got onto that one, I was like, okay, Father, somewhere in me that don't sound right. And then I was trying to piece it together, y'all. You know what? I'm gonna tell you how crazy it is. I couldn't even piece it together until the Father said to me, come on now, you know you can piece it together. I said, Father, who told him he can be grafted in? I mean, he can't be grafted in. He can be grafted in, but what he talking about don't make no sense. I mean, now it makes a lot of sense in your flesh, and it make a lot of sense in your in the flesh of your wisdom, and your wisdom. I mean, your the understanding in your wisdom. No, wisdom and knowledge in your flesh, and understanding in your flesh. But when you start backing that thing up in spirit and truth, baby, wait a minute, bro, you've been all up, and that's why I had to come to meet a higher at that level on that man, because I had to go strictly spirit and truth on him. You see, I haven't approached him yet, but I had to go that route, because he could trap you in being grafted in through the Israelites. You know, you can get trapped in, okay? But the thing about it, you can't get grafted in to the flesh. You can only get grafted in to the spirit. There's no reason to graft yourself in to their flesh. It's grafting you in through the spirit. And the only way you're going to get in through that is through belief. And the only way belief going to get in you, it was given to you before the foundation of the world, so that you will be adopted back from where you come, the Lamb Book of Life. You see, so I was like, hey, that man had me going. I said, no, bro, you bet. You got that wrong. And he just is teaching it, and the weakest of the weakest men that's eating it up. I was like, you know what? I don't know. Oh, I'll tell you what he did tell me. What has happened to where these men of the Hebrew Israelites feel that they have the strength to teach this book, or to teach the word of Yah? They talking about a woman shut up. Let me tell you something. Do you know what would happen if the women were to shut up in this day and time? Do y'all know what would happen if the women of this day and time that are appointed and anointed on a highest clock in this day and time Well, shut up. When okay, he gonna have to have some rocks to cry out. He gonna have to have something to come up. Because you know what? I was reading where he said the women shall rule over thee, and the children shall oppress thee. Let me tell you something. 100% time 1 trillion. The children are oppressing us. That's no doubt. That's no doubt. So if that's no doubt, then the women shall rule over thee. And then he turned around and said, because those who led you, your own men, have caused you to err. And they still leading the men to err, to go up against the women, to tell the women they are not supposed to speak and exalt themselves above a man. You know what? They never thought that came when sin came. All that ugly talk came when sin came. And they don't understand everything that they mimic is of man. I don't understand why nobody mimic Yeshua HaMashiach. And that's the only one came that we may mimic him. But what they do, they want to go everywhere, and the only thing they want to take on is the lust and the wives. Outside of that, they don't want to take on nothing else. It's never a way on. It's nothing on this earth would tell you Abraham and Isaac and Jacob was drinking and cussing like these people are doing today on live, and having the nerve to be pulling the name. No, that's why I know they ain't the name. Using Ahiah to be as a cover up that they are righteous with all that profanity and drinking. And just so much wicked and evil, and they just calling it wrong, right, and right, wrong. And see what the people didn't understand. He wasn't talking about the world. They gonna lie anyway. He was talking about those who call themselves righteous. It's gonna call right, wrong, wrong, and right. And that's the only thing, because they gonna think that it's okay to tell people wrong when they know better. They know what right is. And they gonna know what right is, and they gonna call it wrong. Wrong, right, right, wrong. Those gonna be people who know better, not people who don't. And that's what a lot of them are doing here on this devil platform. And it's okay. It's good. It's all, I call it all well, all good. Because ain't nothing gonna change. These people, you hear these people say it, only what they think that these people. And you know what I wonder about people, because it sounds like a lot of them are like agents. They support the music of Satan. Everything he put on the platform, they dance to it. They support it. And it's just that I don't know. Some people that made this thing, they you can see in their heart. So you all might not get it and understand it like that, and it's okay. But a lot of people are rooted so deep in their heart. This is their heart, these platforms. Now, if 99.5 is for Satan and 0.5 is only one left for Ahiah, and 99.5 is for Satan, they about right. You see what I'm saying? But you would never be able to tell them that. Why? Because they think they're righteous. They think they're doing what pleases Yah. Now, how is it pleasing you? What you doing is pleasing you, is going to please Yah. Do that make any sense? You getting pleasure out of this. You getting pleased by this. That's why you can't say what Ahiah says, that's in spirit and truth. He said it's going to come a time when the true worshipers shall worship him in what? Spirit and truth. He don't want your page. He don't care about your subscribers in your life. That don't mean nothing to him. True worshipers worship him in spirit and truth, and not trying to get people to worship you. And that's what the people have found. They ain't found the Most High Ahiah. They're finding your page and praising you. And he don't care about not getting praise from them, because they praising the world of their own. See, Ahiah know righteous. Mine is found under righteous. As long as I know which one is mine, it don't matter what. And you can bet they ain't looking for the praise of the world either. So this year is going to end, and we most likely all will come out of it. So no, by this end of this year, going into next year, you guys, make sure you know who you are in Ohio. When I say make sure, try yourself. You know how he said, try the spirit by the spirit? Try your spirit by a higher spirit. Yeah, I think it's a lot of them aging. It's the strangest thing. But when I used to hear, I did hear a couple of people say, no, those people are aging. I just be saying, what is it? When they talk about aging? But then you wonder why they saying the same thing that the wicked of the world is saying, and they supporting what they're saying. Because I'm gonna give you an example. I know I shouldn't say nothing about this, but I'm gonna go on and say it. This sudden death sort of situation. Don't think that they putting that up. I don't know if you all ever did y'all watch the is it YouTube? I think so, or Netflix. Why is they letting all these doctors and all these professional people talk about this COVID and all this this shot and this virus? Why are they letting them do that now? They're all in the open. I mean to the point where it's all good to show everybody it's a murderer. It was intended to destroy it. They just got it so open. Then this sudden death is to come to tell you all of them that suddenly dying are people who have gotten this. And I'm like saying, why are they just putting this all out in the open? Because they trying us into revelation. Yeah, they trying to get people to think on the rapture, this next load that's coming. You'll understand it, the next load that's coming, you'll understand it. When the people start dropping dead for this new load, then they're gonna say, oh, people dropping dead, the rapture, because they have made several movies of the rapture where the people just drop dead and or disappear, and they say it's the rapture. You know what I'm saying? I think they trying to bring something into that form. And that's why they're allowing people to discuss this last thing in 2001. Now they're allowing them to come out in the opening with it so they can usher in the new one. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think they're up to. Mm-hmm. And this new one, the only thing about the new one, y'all, it's going to be greater as far as lives. It's going to be greater because just as I said way back when it first came out, the first time it came out, before everybody started passing away, I said that's a biochemical. That's a biochemical. That's what I felt in my spirit. The spirit of the Most High was giving me, but I couldn't piece it. It wasn't settling with my flesh. It's why would they do that? Why would you allow them to do it? But when you get into Revelation and hear about them horses being released and they're supposed to take out a third of me and all, I said, okay, I got you now. So the horses is come and gone. That was a part of that, y'all, in case y'all didn't know that. Woo-wee! But y'all ain't seen nothing yet. We go another one coming, and it's supposed to, oh man, I think we got 2 more that's coming to bring great death on the earth. And they're going to be dropping like flies. So now the world got to come up with something to bring that forth. But they added it also to put sudden death so that people can think of the rapture. Just suddenly people just died. And that's what you also hear several people speaking on. The rapture having to do with this sudden. And I said, see, that's exactly what they wanted them to think. There it is. They want them to think that. Now, you might have one person out of a million thinking like that, but that's what I think they got up their sleeve. They trying to make it fit in with Revelation. That's what I think. But Revelation gonna walk himself up and down. I mean, he got how many? He got 1/3 of men dying from the bitter water. He got many dying from I think that volcano gonna come along. Many gonna die from that. Many gonna die. 2/3. I don't know, 2/3 or 1/3 or 3,000, 4,000. Oh, it's a lot of them gonna die for the war Euphrates River. The war that situation that's gonna be on the river. It ain't gonna be a river. It's gonna be the Euphrates. It's gonna be dried up, and it's gonna be a war fought in that area. And I can see why the war is gonna be, y'all. Cause see, I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all, and a lot of y'all don't really get it. Y'all just hear me talking. See, a week ago, I saw them in the dry part. It is so dry. The Euphrates River is so dry, y'all. They can walk on it. It's like hard brick. They digging in it. And they finding all kind of real jewelry. And it's almost look like another world somewhere down there as they digging. And these designs. And they found heads. Like our heads, but they cut the nose off. You can tell they knocked the nose loose, but you can still tell it's our head. And beautiful craft and all kind. I'm like, all of that stuff is in that river. You know why? Because when he gave it to Abraham, he knew what he was doing. We were just too a stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient people to where it was used as the river itself overshadowed all our wealth that was also in that river. And now that the river is drying up, all that stuff is found in there, and they down there getting it like it belonged to them, y'all. And if anybody, that's why I said we as a people, you can know we kind of retarded. We got to be retarded or slow or mental, because first thing we should have been doing says, I'm a weed at you Jews. It's pointing it out to each other that, wait a minute, here it is in Genesis 15. Honestly, it says here, Genesis 15, in that same day, Ahiah made a covenant with Abraham, saying until thee seed have I given this land from the river of the Nile River, which is in Egypt, unto the great river of Euphrates. That means that's our land. That river belongs to us. Why haven't the Hebrew Israelite men or women talked about that? Because they so busy trying to get something and trying to be something that they shall never be in the land of their captivity. And when I heard this individual, it messed me up because I thought I said it to you all before. When I told you that our men are trying to get that wealth. They thinking that the fake Jews are going to turn over that wealth. They can hang it up, baby. Them people have been doing that for many years. And they got a plan. They're going to continue. You ain't getting none of that. Where you going to find that in scripture saying you're going to gain that? It ain't in there. It's not in there. So I don't know where they thinking they getting something. You're going to go on a journey to the promised land. And that's about it. You ain't finna get nothing. Like when the Israelites came out of Egypt, they gave them all, you see all the stuff, y'all hear about all the stuff that they gave them? They came to the caves in the dry river. Huh? They have caves in the dry river. Have you seen it? Is that what that is? I'm trying to figure out how could they be down in there? It's just so strange to see that. It's just like, wait a minute, what they doing there? It's just the things that's there, and y'all see them digging in, and you be trying to figure out where they come from. So I believe they gonna all be warring with each other, seeing who gonna get it. Because it goes a long ways. They're gonna be warring with each other because he's gonna cause. I don't know how you're gonna do this, but he's gonna let them do it. The three beasts shall come up out of the Euphrates River. Once it's dried up, it's 4 beasts. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be for the good. You see what I'm saying? I think that's connected to the war, which is in Revelation 16, where he talks about the river being dried up and the war. They're going to be warring on that Euphrates land. And I'm like, you see what I'm saying? So how could the river have the four beasts that's going to come up? So they must going to be a battle, and the four beasts is going to stir it up. And there's going to be, oh boy, y'all, it's so many men going to die. Oh, they said it's going to be so. Look at Revelation 16 and verse 12. I was like, do they not read that? The kings of the east, mighty and prepared. It's going to be the king, and the water thereof were dried up. This is Revelation 16 and verse 12. That the way of the kings of the east might prepare. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophets. And they are spirits of devils working miracles, which goeth forth. See, that's on the Euphrates. See, now watch this here. Which and the kings of the earth and of the world, the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Almighty. So that's a separate one from the. Oh man, y'all should see the number of those who are going to die. Let me see if that's in there. Well, the other beasts, Revelation 13 and 15. 13 and 15. Revelation 9. That's Revelation 9. Where am I getting 13? Revelation 9 and 15. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for the slain, the third part of man. Wow. And the number of army of the horsemen was 200,000 thousands. And I heard the number of them, 200,000. They're going to be, out of that, it's going to be a third going to die. That's a lot of men. And that's in Revelation chapter 9, verse 15. It's talking about those four coming out of Euphrates River. It's going to be dried up down to the great river. They were bound. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for it. These are the angels that's going to be loosed. And I'm like saying, who are they? But so this is just going to be a place where they're going to be warring over this here, over in that area. But this is what I was thinking, you guys. Is that going to be? Because I think we missed it. I think we're near the promised land is somewhere near the Euphrates river. And that's another reason why it's drying up. I don't know. I got to keep reading. I really do. Because if that was told to Abraham, that was the all the way from the Nile River in Egypt, do y'all know the Euphrates River runs all the way to Turkey? That's why I'm telling y'all, it covers such a whole amount of land. And I'm trying to figure out, how do we end up in them pin needles of Jerusalem and Jordan and Israel? I don't know, because I don't dig that deep. But no, here it is. Revelation, what's my number? chapter 9, 14. Say to the six angels, the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Now, why are they bound in that river? You see? And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay a third part of man. Wow, that's a lot of men out of how many? 200,000. That's a lot of men. That's a lot of men. Okay. And that's deep. So I'm wondering what is actually going on. So you see why the Euphrates River must dry up. But what got me and hurt, it did hurt. It hurt because I was listening to him tell Abraham, this is the land from Egypt, the Nile River, all the way to the Euphrates River. And that goes a long way. How is it we got messed up with that little pin needle of that land in Israel and Jerusalem and Jordan? I'm confused. And then when I heard, they had it on television, them digging up stuff and all this stuff these people are getting, that don't even belong to them, but they took it. I said, Father, look at them getting everything. They just didn't got everything. And you should have seen the type of jewelry they was finding in that dried up Euphrates River. It wasn't even a river no more. It was so hard, and they was digging up to where the people that stayed nearby decided to go find wealth themselves, because it was a place where they saw people digging and getting stuff. And I'm like saying, look at that. So that's why it's going to be a fighting ground. And the four angels are, I don't know what they whole job is, but whatever it is, they're going to destroy the third part of the men. Yep. They're going to destroy, and the number of army of the horses were 100,000, and I heard a number of them, and that's John talking about that. That's a lot of men. I mean, and that's why I say this is what I'm gonna close out right here. That's why I say that when they awaken, only thing they could have awakened to is stupidity, because I don't see them awakening to nothing spirit and truth. I think if we could go back to Genesis and see Ahiah talking to Abraham in the vision and telling him about he's giving them the land. I'm giving it to your seed, the land of Euphrates, a Nile River, from Nile River. That's where the Euphrates River starts, y'all. Right over there at the Nile River in Egypt, all the way to Turkey. That's a long way. You got to see it. I went got a globe and I saw it. I was like, that's a lot of land, Father. How could we have thought that over there is Israel? That's the promised land. How could we have thought that? And you now Ahiah through revelation. Now watch what he did. He did this in Revelation. He's drying up the river for whatever purpose it is. It's going to be throw down time. And we're going to live to see it. Because already, Sister Deborah, go to the, I don't even know where it was at, where it's showing them finding all that wealth down there. And I don't know what these things they find. Like act like it's a city or something down, but you have to see it for yourself to believe it. You have to see what is actually going on. And then in that in Euphrates, dried up, when it's dried up, 4 angels that's bound is coming up. Now the bound angels, I'm thinking it was, you remember the one that got brought down with Lucifer? Remember they were bound in hell? But these here said these angels are bound in Euphrates. What they doing there? You see what I'm saying? So he's going to have those 4 to come up. And they're going to destroy some men. That's why I tell y'all, it's a lot of hardcore stuff that's coming and a lot of death. A lot. Like that water. Oh, they're going to nail that water, y'all, because it's in Revelation. It's that. And when I was asking, well, what's this deal with this water? He said, Deborah, that's going to be a plague. Just like the movies, them two movies where they had put the stuff in the water and the people were dying and turning into certain things. So that water, it's in Revelation. It's in Revelation. It's going to kill a lot of people. Oh, yes. So I know that's coming. So it's a lot of other things going to take place, you guys, but it's not going to take place like it's set up as a parable, the way John is saying it, but you got to see it in the power of the right hand of the Father. That's what it is. That's what the whole thing is. We have to see it in spirit and truth, in the right hand of the Father. And that's where you can see everything more clear, because it's not going to be like as simple. Okay, they drying up the river, Euphrates River is drying up, and these 4 things coming up. No, it's 4 angels that were bound. It's going to be loosed. So you got to see it in spirit and truth, in a way that's spirit and truth. And most of the time, it's not the way people have been teaching it, you see. So that's why I say it's important to try to understand stuff in spirit and truth, not so much as what you see and believe. You got to be able to go into the realm of what Ahia is at, which is spirit. So you have to believe what you cannot see. Okay, set an example. When he took Abraham in the vision, Abraham was not only in the vision, he was on holy ground in the vision, talking to who? The Most High, Ahia. And he went on and telling them that he was going to give him a seed. And Abraham told him, I don't have any, I'm too old. That this here is going to, the ones in my house, it's my inheritance. And the Father told him in heaven, no, it's not. I'm giving you one of your own, out of your own. You see? And that's where it said that Abraham believed. You see? So it's not so much, this is going back to trying to tell you all, don't believe that which you see all the time. Believe that which you don't see, but yet believe. You see? It's not what you see, because he didn't say nothing come by seeing. He said it comes by hearing. And it comes by hearing the Holy Spirit. But he said people focus on the things that you see to believe, and especially our nation of people. They got to see. You got to be in the presence of them, or else they won't believe it. And even then they won't believe. But see, Abraham believed. He was in the spirit realm. And his belief counted him righteous. Righteous is eternal life, whether y'all know it or not. See, he was counted in, he said. He said, you counted already in, bro. So that's why his belief connected to his righteous and faith and fear. So he was one of a kind. See? And then we sit back and we wonder why Abraham and Isaac was looked at as men of Ahia, because they were already branded with those brands already. So it wasn't nothing neither one of them can do that would err in Ahia, to the point where, look how Abraham went and lied to that king and said Sarah was his sister. You think Ahia was worried about that? No, he was going to take that king out if you touch Sarah. And that's why the king said, why did you do that, Abraham? You could have got me and my family. You could have got us destroyed. You see? You think Ahia went to Abraham and said, Abraham, why you lie? No, you mad. You already counted in. You already counted. Same thing with David and any others. You already mad. So whatever Satan gets you to do, guess what? I'm going to route you back to do the things which is righteous, and you still going to be mad. See, those are the seeds that came and had to crush the serpent's head to bring down the Messiah all the way. And those are the ones you see in Genesis and Matthew chapter 1. You see all their names lying down. Those are the ones. Moses wasn't in there. Moses not in there. But yet these whole Hebrew Israelite men live on the foundation of Moses. You see, not understanding. Moses, the father said and told Moses, you ain't going to no promised land and Aaron, you ain't either, because y'all don't believe. I figured Moses didn't believe all them times. He kept on telling Ahiah, you better repent. How you gonna tell him to repent? You need to turn from your wrath. How you gonna tell him that? But that's what Moses was saying. If y'all read it, y'all see it. And that type of language he was conducting. Oh, when block me out of the book. Wait, bro, you already blotted out. How you like me now? No, I'm just joking. But that's what he told the father. Block me out. If you don't forgive them for what all they wicked and evil, then you block me out. How do you talk like that? How would you talk to the father like that? Why would you talk to him like that? But that's just showing you how you put up with a lot of crap, even like you're doing today. Right now, we don't know it, but he is, how would I say it? He is long suffering right now. Ahiah is long suffering right now. Because don't you think he don't see everything? Because he already seen it. But he's long suffering to see it all through. So did anyone in the live chat have any questions before we end this talk? Yeah, he had to have, but you wouldn't think it based on these Hebrew Israelite men. Everybody trying to follow and mimic man. Get your butt over there and mimic Yeshua HaMashiach. How you like him now? Take y'all butts over there and mimic him. No, you can't do it. You can't do it. You don't even want to touch the nerve. You don't want to look at nothing Yeshua said and done. Oh, they want to run over there to Moses. And a lot of people don't even see it. A lot of people can't see. Well, wait a minute. These men only teaching the verses that comes out of the man's mouth and not out of Yeshua HaMashiach. Yeshua said, the time shall come, and is now, that when the true worshipers shall worship in spirit and truth. Wait. You wouldn't hear not one Hebrew Israelite man teach that. You won't hear them talking about anything coming out of Yeshua's mouth, unless it's something that really, really, really pleases them. You know, outside of that, they tell you what David, Adam, Eve, David, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, things but when it come down to really speaking spirit and truth, they ain't got it in them. And you know what? It come a time where you don't blame them from not having what Ahiah didn't give them, because he knew who they was from the beginning. That's all I need to say. Yep, they got their own, and they content with it. They are so content. They're content with their own doctrine, and Ahiah is too. He said, if I didn't give it to them, they ain't got no business having it. So that's that, Deborah. I'm like, okay then. He said, yeah, if he don't give it to them, they ain't got no business having it. So if anyone don't have any other questions regarding anything, or you have a question or you have the answer. But yeah, I didn't know Moses was that far deep like that. I didn't know he was out there like that. Had no idea. See, that shows you can sit here and listen to everybody's teaching and preaching, and you can be all off whack. Because I had no idea Moses. I never did get into Moses. Because a lot of Moses and what he was doing, you know, I'm like, you know, a lot of things regarding Moses. But I tell you what, I did tell my little youngest sister, a lot of things Ahiah did. He did it where that the older shall serve the young. You see what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of things Ahiah have orchestrated. So I was showing her, it wasn't that your sister, telling my youngest sister, let me tell y'all don't say this. I ain't got no sense. I know I ain't got no sense, and I don't care. I told her, I say a lot of times it's like that because that's how I've seen it all my life. I've seen them do any and everything you tell them. And my little sister looked at me. They don't do what I tell them. Oh, yes, they do. No, yeah. If she don't tell them, they won't do. She called the shots. My little sister do. Mm-hmm. She called the shots for the whole family. Mm-hmm. And I said, the thing about it, though, he said, this is what I got her on. I said, see, the thing about it, her and Mama was there. And I said, see, the thing about it is they do anything you tell them to do. And that's why I can't accept what you say, that they want to treat you like you the little sister. No, Doris, that's not true. She said, but everybody always tell me I act like I'm the oldest. They treat me like I'm the oldest. I said, because you got a husband that's a pastor that never taught you spirit and truth. He didn't teach you biblically in the Bible. It speaks of the young. Now, hear me, listen to this, y'all, because this is wisdom right here. It speaks of the young being the old elders are always trying to serve under the young, even to Isaiah. It's Isaiah 3. It even talks about how the sons of the father will go to the younger son and ask him to rule the house. So she said, well, can you give me them verses? Can you find them scriptures? And I said, yeah. And I got them. Yeah, I got them. And I'm going to tell you what came to me after I got them. And then I said, yeah, this is biblical. By your husband not telling you that, you don't know. I said, and you should, y'all been in church for so long, you still don't know. And she say, I didn't know. I never heard of that. I said, yeah, many scriptures in the Bible tells you that's why people are probably looking at you as the oldest, because they really serve you. And all the people in the family and all friends and everybody, that's how they see my little sister as the oldest. And she's sitting here crying, saying that they always say that to me, that everybody act like you the oldest. It's because the way it's orchestrated, and I don't know if y'all know that it's not, a lot of them lean to the young one. But let me tell you, when I was working for battered women and children, and the classes that I had to take, I learned that the young child in the house, the youngest is the peacemaker. But what I told my sister, which is not, I know I did, I kind of overdid it, but I gave her the scriptures and I explained, told it goes two ways. Either your young one can be the chaos of the family, or it can be the peacemaker. It can be one or the other. That's the difference. A lot of people don't know that. So a lot of people be right today in the year 2022. A lot of people run to the young one, not because the young one is all that and that. It's because of a lot of things that took place, starting with Adam, Cain, and Abel. Okay, and it went on down. Go David. You know, they went through all his brothers, and it was the one, David was the one. And it goes all the way down to Esau. It go all the way to Jacob. It goes all the way down, you guys. And then you get up to Isaiah, and here it is again. I said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me these men, that's why they getting all these young men in these camps, Father? He said, yep. They getting them in the camp, telling them to be the rulers. They're going to be the leaders. They're going to be kings and leaders. And it's boosting their ego. But they pride is in the way. They getting all boasted, bloated head. See, and this is what you see. They putting it on the young men. You see? So that's what's going on with my little sister. But let me tell y'all where I froze that thing. I said, but let me tell you one thing. He said a middle child. And that's why the middle child is considered the dark, the one in the dark, or they put in a little black box. They put the middle child. See, he ain't saying nothing about that. That means you can't control, and I don't serve you. And it's the truth, y'all. Whether you know it or not. See, you can tamper with the older ones, and they can serve you. But he ain't talking about the middle children or the middle child. They always end up in the little black box. So he's talking about the older, serve the young. And yes, they do serve her. And then after her, they probably would do me, but I don't give them the time of day because I don't play in that park at all. That's why when it's time when stuff kick up and you start here, I'm like, I don't like this here. Listen to mama, listen to her. You mean I've been gone too long again? And that's how it is. I don't go around. I don't party hardy with them. I don't deal in that way. But if they have something and they invite me, if I feel I want to go to it, I don't care if it's Christmas, what the world called Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, whatever. I know who I am. And I can step in any environment that I choose or chose to. Nobody on this earth rule me, you see. So I ain't under nobody's tradition and nobody a way of saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Even Yeshua stepped in ways and places he shouldn't even be in, but because of who he was, he could have did be in anywhere he wanted to be. Just you don't lose yourself. That's the thing about it. Don't lose yourself when you get among your family members. It ain't like you celebrating their pagan holidays. If you know that you're going in there to speak a word, or you're going in there to make a difference, or even how can you be a light set up on a hill if you're never going amongst darkness? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of things that would counteract a lot of things that a lot of people are saying. Just don't lose yourself. Know who you are. See, with Sister Deborah, don't tell me where I can. If I want to go into a lounge, I go in there. I go wherever I want to go, wherever he is. Why can I do that? Everybody can't do that. Sister Deborah can do that. You know what? Greater is he that is with me and in me than he that is in the world. So who tells me I can and cannot go? If I want to go to my sister's new house or my job, a Christmas dinner, I can go. It ain't gonna take away what he put in me before the foundation of the world. Huh. That was sealed. That was predestined. That was ordained. He branded me for his name's sake. With belief, faith, righteous, fear. So because I'm going to eat food over here with them, I'm going to lose that? Come on now. Come on now, somebody. See that? You see how stupid it sounds? You see how you can get caught up from the floor up in a lot of this man-made traditions? Yes, you don't have to be unequally yoked. That means yoking means you get in and you're doing it all the time. You want to be around them. Everything they have, you celebrating. You've been no. Your light still got to shine, baby. Your light still got to shine. And I don't care where. I can go anywhere I want to. If somebody have Easter dinner, I can go over there to the house of Easter. My light is already shining. Can't nobody put that out. Not even an Easter egg or a boiled egg. No, baby. You can't. This is when you're taught by the Ruach HaKodesh. Your light don't shine in light. It shine in darkness. You see? So if you think that only you and your family is where you need to be at, when you stay your tail there. But that's not cost you there, your light shining. No, baby, your light can't. He said it's not a light that you can just, what did he say, put under a bed, you know, and try to hide it. No, your light gonna shine. You represent him. And that's why I explained to y'all a lot of, I haven't seen, a couple of people, I haven't seen them. I know one person was sick. Oh my goodness. But we can't put him out that's in us when we feel that the world is going one way. You don't have to be, what did he say? Be in it, but not of it. Say, for instance, and he's not talking about the outer man. He's talking about make sure you know who you are on the inner man. So wherever you go, your light gonna shine. And with me, I already know that. It's because no one brings nothing to Sister Deborah crooked. They don't come to me that way. They don't approach me that way. They don't deal with me that way. And they know I'm non-tolerant to any crap. And to me, that's good enough. I can go anywhere I want. I told y'all every job I worked, I don't remember them heathens bother me. I can't tell y'all as far as racist and writing me up and doing this to me. And I have every job I've worked, I've had people, even elderly people, baby, why they don't do you like that? They did us like that. We've been here 15, 20 years, and they don't do you like that. People ain't crazy. They know what they're dealing with. And they know. They don't know the fullness, but they know. They know something. They don't have the fullness, but they know something. And they know when it's time who to come up on and who not to. They know. And that's why I say I don't have no other choice but to stick closer to the one that I know who created all things, because I've seen he's been proving himself to me. And I don't need no man, no woman to tell me who he is. I know who he is. And I know who he been. And I know that, like I say, I don't know everything, but I know enough to be what he has called me to be. And to know that he's the greatest of the greatest. And that's good enough for me. So, uh-huh. I just heard this Gentile telling me that. He was telling me a 10-year-old girl. And I was like, you kidding me? He said, no, Miss Deborah, this 10-year-old girl got a mouth on her and she ruled the whole house. He was just telling me something like that, but you're saying she is 11. See that? And they yeah. That it's a big thing in that. And all you have to do is go to the scriptures. Now, there's some scriptures where he's letting the elders get the leadway, but the majority, the great number of everybody came from being the youngest. Because I know Abraham, he was the elder. Okay. But there's other situations where the youngest has always been the one that higher uses. Okay. And the elders is always like in a servant mindset toward that young one. And then when you go to Isaiah, I think it's in Jeremiah and Ezekiel too. When you go to Isaiah in chapter 3, it talks about how it's going to actually be in that day. In this day we in, it talks about how the men of the father of the house and his elder sons is going to call for the younger son and ask him to rule over the house. And he's going to say, no, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no clothes. I ain't got nothing. Please don't put me to be the ruler. That's a known fact today. And that's why I said to her that I can give her the scriptures. But the part about her is what the confusion was about was you can be the positive peacemaker, young one, or you can be the chaos. It's two of them. Young one can be the one that keeps up the trouble and chaos, or you can be the young one that brings the family together, peacemaker. You see what I'm saying? So Sister Deborah say, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. My computer didn't shut down on me. I guess he said it ain't been up in a long time. So, and I haven't been on here in a minute. But I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will say, I hope you have a lovely, what time is it? Oh, 10 o'clock. A lovely evening. And I don't know. I had that little sickness, and it takes really like almost 6 to 7 days to really kind of really get fully over it. But I've heard other people saying they had it, and most of them went to the doctor and they told me it wasn't flu and it wasn't COVID, but they told me it was just some type of something that's out. But it had me down. It had me way down. But I say unto each and every last one of you all that I will be back. And you all have a wonderful evening or night. A good one. Shalom and shalom.